Chapter 721. Lin Mo Yu, you deserve to die. Lin Mo Yu was having a great time killing. The two major soul skills focus and strong soldiers worked together to push the combat power of the Undead Legion to the limit. Even the level 89 Dragon Clan generals could not withstand the siege of several skeletons. Unless the Dragon King took action, it would be impossible to stop the Undead Legion. The combat power of the Bone Dragon was already infinitely close to the divine rank. Even when facing the Dragon King, it could fight back and forth several times. If it were ordinary level 90 Dragon Kings surrounded by a dozen Bone Dragons, there would be a risk of falling. What's more, two Skeleton Kings with combat power exceeding level 93 were watching in the air. The strength of the Undead Legion had become extremely strong. Two huge auras swept over. High-level Dragon King. Lin Mo Yu's heart shuddered slightly. The high-level Dragon King could drive the laws, and was completely on a different level from the low-level and mid-level Dragon Kings. Just right, let's test the skills on you. Lin Mo Yu used Infinite Fusion, Curse of Aging, Soul Flame, Poisonous Starburst, and the three skills were combined in sequence. A ball of red light appeared above his palm. The high-level Dragon King was extremely fast. Before it arrived, the attack carrying the law had already arrived. One of the law attacks bombarded the Skeleton King, and the other went straight to Lin Mo Yu. Under the Soul Lock, the attack was 100% accurate, unless Lin Mo Yu's wings of the undead spread out behind him, and with a slight movement of his soul power, he instantly cut off the Soul Lock. Lin Mo Yu appeared thousands of meters away as if he had teleported. At this time, the law attack fell on the Skeleton King, and the Skeleton King collapsed on the spot. The power of the law was too strong. No matter what kind of law, even if it was only superficial, the Skeleton King could not resist it. The two high-level Dragon Kings showed their figures in midair, one of them showing a look of surprise. Before it could recover, a red light flashed over its head. The red light instantly surrounded it. The aura of the Law of Time flashed by. The scales on its body aged at a speed visible to the naked eye, its body was decaying, and its aura was weakening. The Dragon Clan's Dragon Kings have a long lifespan, especially the high-level Dragon Kings, whose lifespan exceeds 400 years, which is longer than that of the human clan. However, this is also one of the reasons why Antares calls them mixed-blood dragons. The real dragons, even if they are just born, have a lifespan of thousands of years, often thousands of years. After adulthood, living for tens of thousands of years is normal. Like reaching the realm of Antares, God knows how many years they can live. This is already a level that Lin Mo Yu cannot understand. The mixed-blood dragons have a shorter lifespan than the real dragons, but they are still much longer than the human race. Even so, they still can't stop the law of time. It seemed to have passed decades or hundreds of years in an instant, and directly aged. Lin Mo Yu didn't know how many years this high-level Dragon King had lived, and how much lifespan was left. His skill directly sent it to the end of its lifespan. This high-level Dragon King became extremely old in an instant, its energy decayed, its laws collapsed, and it was on the verge of death. The high-level Dragon King next to it was frightened, and without thinking, turned around and fled. The high-level Dragon King was amazingly fast, and disappeared in the blink of an eye. How could Lin Mo Yu let it go? A purple god-slaying lightning struck first, instantly falling on it from thousands of miles away. In the roar, a large sea of thunder appeared in the air, and it screamed and fell down. Then the thunder roared, and another purple god-slaying lightning flew out, catching up with it in midair. In the lightning and thunder, it couldn't stop the god-slaying lightning with the attack power of a half-step divine level. In just 2 hits, it died on the spot. Killed high-level Dragon King, experience plus ***. General star +1. Killed high-level Dragon King, experience plus ***. General star +1. 2 messages popped up in a row. High-level Dragon King, the experience is extremely rich. 1 is worth 4 level 90 low-level Dragon Kings. Lin Mo Yu's experience instantly jumped up a lot, and a light of upgrade appeared on his body. Level 81. Just arrived in the Dragon Clan world for less than a day, and completed the upgrade. It's too fast. This kind of upgrade speed has never appeared in the history of the human race. Even Lin Mo Han can't compare. Not only Lin Mo Yu, even at the beginning of the era, when the gods and the human race worked together to gather the power of the world to fight against foreign enemies, there would not be such a fast upgrade speed. For Lin Mo Yu, it is not surprising to have such an upgrade speed. For others, the higher the level, the slower the level. After all, the efficiency of killing monsters is decreasing, the time to kill each monster is getting longer, and you can only use time to accumulate. In reality, Lin Mo's undead army was annihilating and sweeping everything in its path, the only problem being that there weren't enough monsters. Now in the dragon world, the dragons inside were treated as monsters by Lin Mo. God-level dragon kings were treated as bosses, similarly swept through, with plenty of experience points gained. After killing 2 high dragon kings, he had the skeletons collect the dragon crystals, while a ball of flame fell on their corpses. In just a few seconds, 2 reborn who could control the laws joined Lin Mo's command. The combat power of the reborn legion increased significantly once again. At this time, the battle was nearing its end, and Lin Mo also put away his skills, preparing to clean up the battlefield. Boom! A roar sounded in the air, followed by a deafening dragon's roar. The sound came from all directions, impossible to pinpoint. Mixed in with it was the sound of the soul. Dragon Emperor. Lin Mo's expression became serious, the real opponent had arrived. Coming to the dragon world, the only enemy Lin Mo needed to be careful of was the Dragon Emperor alone. As for the others, Lin Mo didn't care about them at all. The truth was also true, even the high dragon kings who could control the laws were not difficult to kill. Only the half-step transcendent Dragon Emperor could become his obstacle. A dragon shadow hundreds of meters long appeared in the air. The dragon shadow saw the city that had turned into ruins, and the mountains of bones piled up in the city. Lin Mo, you deserve to die. The dragon roared, the Dragon Emperor's figure revealed itself from within. Lin Mo casually said, that depends on whether you can kill me. The Dragon Emperor coldly said, now that you have come to the dragon realm, don't even think about leaving. Saying that, a giant axe appeared in his hand. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly, it was this giant axe that forced him to retreat last time. With the giant axe in hand, the Dragon Emperor's aura continued to rise, and in the blink of an eye, it reached the peak of the half-step transcendent level, infinitely close to the transcendent level. High God level is to control the laws, half-step transcendent begins to learn to control the laws. But controlling the laws is just an adjective, it has no specific meaning. Roughly speaking, it means that you can integrate your personal will into the laws, making the laws of heaven and earth your own private property. It's like there is a knife between heaven and earth. At the high God level, you only have the ability to remotely control this knife. You have a remote control in your hand, whoever you want this knife to kill, this knife will kill. As for the power, how accurate, it is out of control. When you reach the half-step transcendent level, you have to turn this knife between heaven and earth into your own. So that you can take it out at any time, and kill whoever you want. When you truly reach the transcendent level, you will incorporate the laws into your soul. The laws truly belong to you, become private property, not only is the control flexible, but also the power is greater. When the law belongs to heaven and earth, you drive it, you can exert 1% of the power. After the transcendent level controls the law, you can exert at least 10% of the power. The difference between the two is huge. Now, with the help of the giant axe, the Dragon Emperor is infinitely close to the half-step transcendent team. Lin Mo knew that in the fragment world, it was absolutely impossible to become a transcendent. No matter how strong the half-step transcendent is, it is only a half-step transcendent. The Dragon Emperor slashed at Lin Mo with an axe, and Lin Mo also pointed out a finger. Chapter 722, Bastard, how did you escape again? The two faced each other tit for tat. The Dragon Emperor's axe collapsed the space. The city that had already turned into ruins was completely destroyed by the aftermath of this axe. The skeletons, headless knights, reborn, and even the bone dragons in the city, none survived. This axe contained an amazingly powerful law, and at the same time, the law contained the Dragon Emperor's will, which was different from any law seen before. The personal will was too strong, and the power of the law formed a dragon shadow in the air, pouncing on Lin Mo. Lin Mo also pointed out a finger at the same time, returning the favor. The wings of the undead flapped at the same time, and the power of the soul poured into it, instantly flying tens of thousands of meters away. The Dragon Emperor gave a surprised sound, its soul lock lost its target, and the soul lock failed. It was the first time it had encountered this situation. A red light flashed overhead, and the Dragon Emperor felt the danger. The existence of the half-step transcendent level has a very strong sense of danger. It let out a roar. In the roar, the ancestral bloodline burned fiercely, and a drop of dragon blood rushed out of the body. The dragon blood quickly turned into a clone of its appearance, while the Dragon Emperor's body appeared thousands of meters away. Lin Mo's attack fell on the Dragon Emperor's clone, and the clone quickly aged and collapsed. The Dragon Emperor's pupils shrank sharply. What kind of attack is this? With its knowledge, it has not yet been able to come into contact with such a profound thing as the law of time. But it could feel that it was Law 420, a very terrible law. In just a short period of time, Lin Mo has become stronger again. Such an enemy is too terrible and cannot be kept. A bad feeling grew in the Dragon Emperor's heart. If it couldn't kill Lin Mo today, it would definitely be itself who would die in the future. The Dragon Emperor roared again, the giant axe in his hand shone brightly, and his power climbed upwards again. The breath of law permeated, constantly tearing the space. A huge black hole appeared around the Dragon Emperor, a black hole composed of law. Seeing that his attack failed to hit, Lin Mo felt a little regretful. If the law of time could hit, even if it couldn't kill the Dragon Emperor, it could at least cut off a lot of its lifespan and greatly weaken its strength. Now the Dragon Emperor is obviously prepared. This black hole, what's going on? Lin Mo maintained caution about things he had never seen before. He felt a threat from the black hole. The black hole was filled with law. This was a world completely composed of law. At this moment, he finally saw clearly what law the Dragon Emperor was using. Law of Stone. The Law of Stone has two characteristics, one is to enhance defense, and the other is to enhance power. Compared to the two, defense is the main ability of the Law of Stone. The Dragon Emperor has studied the Law of Stone to an extremely high level, only half a step away from the transcendent level. If it weren't for the limitations of the fragment world, the Dragon Emperor might have stepped into the transcendent level. The Demon Emperor Lillian is also like this. If it weren't for being restricted by the fragment world, her achievements would be more than just half-step transcendent. Especially the Demon Emperor Lillian is smarter than the Dragon Emperor, and her future achievements will be even higher. The Dragon Emperor carried the black hole and rushed towards Lin Mo. Die! The giant axe in his hand was swung again, and a brilliant light erupted from the black hole. The Law of Stone and the attack of the giant axe merged together, sweeping over the sky and covering the earth. Thousands of meters in radius were within the range of the attack. The earth collapsed, the city was shattered, and the space was torn apart. The whole scene was like the end of the world. Lin Mo's face changed, and a sense of danger constantly rose in his heart. The wings of the undead vibrated, instantly breaking free of the lock, and flew 10,000 meters away. With a loud bang, the attack landed on the ground. The ground collapsed, forming a huge pit. The pit was over 1,000 meters in diameter and several hundred meters deep. Lin Mo breathed in deeply. This kind of power was indeed a bit astonishing. The ancient Thunder Outer Tower appeared in his hand, and a purple god-slaying lightning flew out in response. The god-slaying lightning landed on the black hole, and was silently absorbed by the black hole, without causing the slightest ripple. Law of Stone, an integration of offense and defense. Lin Mo silently recited, unsure if he was thinking correctly. After all, his understanding of the laws was still too limited. However, what the Dragon Emperor was currently displaying was exactly that. The Law of Stone was indeed very strong in terms of defense. Another attack came overwhelmingly, and Lin Mo dodged again. A red light appeared in his hand, and the infinite fusion skill was activated. He pointed out again, and the power of curse descended with the aura of the Law of Time. This time, the Dragon Emperor didn't dodge or evade, relying on the Law of Stone to withstand it. At the same time, it continuously swung its axes towards Lin Mo, covering the entire space of 10,000 meters around Lin Mo. Lin Mo didn't want to clash with it head-on and dodged again. The curse, carrying the Law of Time, landed on the black hole. The black hole instantly shrank by about 1/5, but it returned to normal in the next second. Lin Mo's eyes narrowed slightly. He saw that there seemed to be power transmitted from the giant axe into the Dragon Emperor's body, which allowed the Dragon Emperor to maintain the energy of the black hole. In other words, as long as the giant axe was in hand, and as long as the energy on the giant axe wasn't exhausted, he shouldn't even think about hurting the Dragon Emperor. The giant axe was a weapon of the super god level, and Lin Mo couldn't estimate how abundant its internal power was. Lin Mo felt that even if they fought for days and nights, he shouldn't even think about exhausting the power in the giant axe. The purple god-slaying lightning was ineffective, and the Law of Time was also ineffective. Lin Mo didn't have any stronger killing moves. The Dragon Emperor's attacks came wave after wave, and Lin Mo could only keep dodging. It looked like the Dragon Emperor completely had the upper hand, and Lin Mo appeared quite embarrassed. It's still a bit too forced. It seems that I can't confront the Dragon Emperor head-on for the time being. Lin Mo rolled his eyes. Since he couldn't beat it, then he wouldn't fight. The wings of the undead vibrated rapidly, and the power of the soul poured in frantically. Lin Mo instantly pulled the speed of the wings of the undead to the limit. He disappeared, instantly disappearing without a trace. This scene, falling into the Dragon Emperor's eyes, was exactly the same as the situation in the abyss last time. Lin Mo also disappeared like this, without a trace. It thought Lin Mo had escaped again, and roared madly in anger. Bastard, why did you run away again? Lin Mo had completely disappeared from its soul lock. It also didn't leave any aura on Lin Mo like the Demon Emperor did, so it couldn't be tracked even if it wanted to. Lin Mo flew out tens of thousands of kilometers in just 10 seconds, arriving in a snowy and icy land. When he stopped, a city appeared before him, an undefended Dragon Clan city. A murderous intent flashed in his eyes, the wings of the undead vibrated, Lin Mo swooped down and entered the city. The defense systems in the Dragon Clan cities were built thousands of years ago. At that time, the human clan reached a silent cooperation with the Abyss demons, with the human clan responsible for dealing with the Dragon Clan on the Yuan battlefield. And the Abyss demons directly attacked the Dragon Clan's world. The Dragon Clan was caught off guard at that time, so a large number of formations were built in each city to form a defense system. Even after thousands of years, these defense systems were still powerful. But now, the defense wasn't activated. Lin Mo's speed was too fast, the wings of the undead flapped slightly, the power of the soul flowed, and Lin Mo had already appeared in the city. The next second, the sky turned pitch black, the skeletal dragons roared endlessly, and the silver-white undead flames burned the entire city. The undead army raised their butcher knives and began to massacre in the city. Lin Mo stood in the center of the city, his gaze sweeping across the city. The Staff of Genesis was in his hand, devouring one dragon crystal after another. The core of life gradually became complete, began to sparkle, and the aura of laws began to appear in the core of life. The 2 dragon crystals from the higher dragon kings were very effective, far better than ordinary dragon crystals. Lin Mo could understand that the Staff of Genesis and the core of life originally belonged to higher gods. They themselves possessed laws. To repair them, either fill them with quantity, or give them the right items. However, Lin Mo still didn't quite understand what the relationship between the core of life and the Dragon Clan was. Why dragon crystals were used to repair it. When the god of life fell in the Great War, the Dragon Clan hadn't yet arrived. Antares. Lin Mo's thoughts flashed like lightning, and he thought of Antares. Since it had nothing to do with these mixed blood dragons, then it must be related to Antares. He would have to ask about it later. Chapter 723. Are you going to degrade yourself again? In just a few minutes, the entire Dragon Clan city was slaughtered. It wasn't that Lin Mo was bloodthirsty, but he had no choice. To complete his plan, Lin Mo had to become the master of the world, and then let his world devour the Dragon Clan world and the Abyss world. In this process, the creatures originally belonging to the fragmented worlds had to be erased. It didn't have to be completely killed, but at least 80 or 90% had to be erased. Otherwise, these 2 fragmented worlds would be like maggots on bones, impossible to get rid of. What's more, Lin Mo regarded the Dragon Clan people as monsters, and as tools for his own upgrade. Killing some monsters and raising his level, Lin Mo had no psychological burden at all. Upper space, the center of the core area. It was also the very center of the primordial battlefield. Antares' big eyes slightly revealed a slit. It looked at everything Lin Mo was doing in the Dragon Clan, and its eyes showed satisfaction. Kill as much as you like. In the future when you enter the Great World, you will understand how cruel the real world is. Destroying stars and exterminating races, severing lineages, slaughtering hundreds of millions of lives is just a matter of snapping your fingers. One world, one big star, can be destroyed with a wave of the hand for an invincible powerhouse. Only when you become ruthless yourself can you survive in such a world. Antares' voice was filled with nostalgia. It once came from such a big world and its hands were stained with blood. Since coming here, the years had become quiet and the killing intent had gradually subsided. It was just subsided, not disappeared. Maybe one day, there would be huge waves again. Lin Mo's city slaughtering action was too fast. In just over 10 minutes, the city turned into ruins in the dragon's breath, and the dragon creatures in the city were completely wiped out. During this period, in addition to feeding the dragon crystals to the Staff of Genesis, Lin Mo also summoned the undead army. Level 81, the number of the undead legion increased again, reaching a total of 280,000. The number of each type of skeleton exceeded 70,000, with the total number of skeletons reaching 210,000. He could summon 2 skeleton kings in their strongest state simultaneously. The number of dragon nests increased from 1,000 to 1,100. Although the increase in combat power was not as significant as leveling up from 79 to 80, it was a very important step for Lin Mo Yu. After level 80, the most important thing for each level up is the increase in a large amount of soul power. The previously consumed soul power was completely restored, and the soul became full again. He put away the undead legion, flapped his wings of the undead, and Lin Mo Yu disappeared without a trace. Several minutes after Lin Mo Yu left, the roar of a dragon came from the sky. A divine dragon flew from the distant sky, crossing hundreds of miles like lightning, and arrived above the city. Looking at the destroyed city, the dragon emperor roared again and again, "Lin Mo Yu, you coward! If you have the guts, don't run away, come out and fight me. Let's decide the victory or defeat, life or death. Come out, coward, come out." The dragon emperor roared, almost losing his mind, but received no response. Lin Mo Yu had already left, and could not be found at all. Lin Mo Yu arrived in front of Antares, not asleep yet. Antares chuckled strangely, "Sleep? What's sleep? I'm waiting for you to come back." Lin Mo Yu was slightly stunned. "You knew I was coming back." Antares proudly raised his head. "That's right, who is this dragon? Your actions were long ago within this dragon's expectations. If this dragon guessed correctly, you're going to start abusing yourself again." Lin Mo Yu said, "Don't speak so harshly, have some manners. This isn't called abuse, this is called enduring hardship to become a superior man. Get lost, you're just trying to flatter yourself. Hurry up and start, this dragon still needs to sleep and have sweet dreams." Antares snorted unhappily, exhaled, and a gust of wind blew, messing up Lin Mo Yu's hair. Lin Mo Yu didn't waste any time, sat down cross-legged, and began to move the skill star cores. His soul was familiar with the road, and broke into the skill space. In the skill space, 21 skill star cores were constantly rotating, shining brightly. They looked exactly the same, making it difficult to distinguish them from each other. Moreover, their positions were not fixed, but were constantly moving. However, there were no rules to their movement. The 21 skill star cores seemed to be attracted to each other, running around randomly, presenting a chaotic state. Collisions were common, but fortunately, collisions between skill star cores did not cause any damage to their bodies. Instead, they were like balls with full elasticity, bouncing away after a collision, and often bouncing very far. The entire movement had no trajectory, and was elusive. It was precisely because of this that Lin Mo Yu could not distinguish who was who. His soul power surged in, and Lin Mo Yu directly captured the skill star core closest to him. An invisible big hand grabbed it. The skill star core that was running suddenly shook violently and stopped instantly. A huge soul force wrapped it and dragged it out. There was an invisible force in the skill space that bound it, preventing it from leaving. However, the binding force was no match for Lin Mo Yu's soul power, and the skill star core left the skill space at a steady speed. Zero seeking flowers 0. It's easier. Lin Mo Yu was slightly surprised. Moving the skill star core this time was much easier than the previous 2 times. After thinking about it, he understood that it was not that the binding force of the skill space had weakened, but that his soul power had become stronger. Since reaching level 80, his soul power had increased significantly, and the increase surprised Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu also understood that because his soul level was too high, the soul power he gained each time seemed to be more than others. And he had the power of divinity, so each increase was far greater than others. Moreover, this increase became more obvious in the later stages. Now at level 81, moving the skill star core was even easier than before, giving him a feeling of effortless. Lin Mo Yu felt that he could move 2 skill star cores this time. With joy, Lin Mo Yu became a happy porter. In just half a day, this skill star core was moved out of the skill space and sent to the soul world. In the soul world, the soul skill Wings of the Undead with a fusion degree of 100% had already transformed into a fixed star, burning brightly and radiating heat in the soul world. The remaining skill star cores were arranged in order according to the level of soul fusion. The closer the skill star core was to Wings of the Undead, the higher the soul fusion degree. In order, they were Power Gathering 99% Fusion, Strength and Troops 50% Fusion, Damage Transfer 50% Fusion, Corpse Explosion 20% Fusion, Summon Skeleton King 30% Fusion. They rotated around Wings of the Undead in an orderly manner, looking like a galaxy in the starry sky. Compared to the chaos in the skill space, it was many times better. The arrival of the new skill star core did not affect their operation, but stopped in the distance. Lin Moyu integrated a large amount of soul power into it, and the skill star core began to shine brightly. With several experiences, Lin Moyu was the most skilled worker in the human race in terms of transforming soul skills. Soul energy rushed in desperately, frantically. In just a few minutes, all the soul energy was exhausted. Antares sensed Lin Moyu's aura and snorted lightly. An attack fell. The undead legion was completely destroyed, but only a few bone dragons died. Lin Moyu said, "Not enough, put in more effort." Antares frowned, "You brat, you've become harder." "That's right, so give me some strength. Don't be a soft-footed dragon. Get lost." In the roar, an even more powerful attack fell. 6. Chapter 724. Do you want me to find you a female dragon? Antares felt insulted. Lin Moyu actually called himself a soft-footed dragon. "Bastard, do you know that soft-footed dragon is an insult in our dragon clan?" Antares roared, and an attack fell, completing a kill. "This dragon will destroy you." The roar continued, and the second attack completed the second kill. Lin Moyu was not afraid at all. Destroy it, there are still 2 times left." "Bitch." Antares also cursed back, but Lin Moyu didn't care. Don't look at Antares' angry appearance, in fact, this guy's attack is also measured. Before, it was a high-level god-level attack, but now it has been upgraded to a half-step trans-god level. Controlled very precisely. In Antares' mouth, Lin Moyu completely became a bitch, a complete one. Who would come to their door to commit suicide, and more than once. Before, in order to deal with the Great World Rune, it killed Lin Moyu nearly 50 times. 450, this time, it is estimated that it will take dozens of times to kill him. The last attack, Antares was not polite, and added a little strength. With one blow, Lin Moyu was beaten to a bloody pulp, unrecognizable. Immediately, the talent was activated, purple light flickered, and the body instantly recovered. The soul also returned to its peak state at the same time. 3. A complete rebirth, a true rebirth. Even if the bones are ground to dust, one can be resurrected. That's why Antares felt this talent was too heaven-defying. The full soul power once again poured into the skill star core, like a vast river rushing forth. Antares sighed, "Others are stingy with their use of soul power, only you are so wasteful." Lin Moyu was multitasking, injecting soul power while saying, "I'm not wasting it, I'm desperately trying." After an ordinary skill is converted into a soul skill, it's very difficult to increase the fusion degree again. The first time is the best opportunity. As long as you seize this opportunity, you can save yourself trouble later. Just like my class trait, as long as a skill is cultivated to the same level as my class, it can be improved as I level up. The first time is the most difficult, but if you do it well the first time, you can save yourself trouble later. Skill conversion is also like this. When converting from an ordinary skill to a soul skill, the first soul fusion is the best time to increase the fusion degree. If you miss this time, it will be difficult in the future. Like the previous few skills, the fusion degree has been stuck at the time of conversion and hasn't moved. It's very difficult to improve it further. Lin Moyu regretted why he didn't discover this method earlier, didn't discover the power of his talent. Several minutes later, the soul power was exhausted again. The skill star core hasn't been filled yet, it can continue. Lin Moyu said, "Come on. As you wish, you cheapskate." Antares snorted and spat a mouthful of dragon breath on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu died in the dragon breath. Antares controlled the rhythm of the dragon breath, calling out like he was counting, once, twice, 3 times. Until Lin Moyu died 4 times, the talent was activated again. The dragon breath spewed out by Antares also happened to extinguish at this time. Lin Moyu complained, "Are you practicing your skills on me? Antares laughed loudly, why not? Making use of waste. Dead dragon. Lin Moyu gritted his teeth, filled with anger. Antares looked like he was daring you to come and eat him, very annoying. Lin Moyu continued to inject soul power into the skill star core, and asked, when those geniuses in the great world convert soul skills, what is the fusion degree they can achieve? Antares said, are you asking about humans or other races? Lin Moyu said, humans. Humans, generally it's about 30 to 40. For talented ones, it can reach 60%, and some prodigies can reach 70%. Lin Moyu felt a little strange, isn't there 100%? Yes, very few, and not all spells can reach 100%. It's already amazing to have one. Lin Moyu nodded, it was indeed difficult to reach 100% fusion. No wonder Antares was so shocked when he pushed the fusion degree of undead wings to 100% at that time, and directly cursed himself as a pervert. And it may be even more perverted next, the fusion degree of each remaining skill may reach 100%. This seems to have exceeded the level of a prodigy, and it's not an exaggeration to call it a monster. Lin Moyu asked again, what about other races besides humans? Antares answered seriously, generally it's about 30 to 40. For talented ones, it can reach 60%, and some prodigies can reach 70%. Lin Moyu glared at Antares, what's the difference between this and humans? There's no difference. Lin Moyu knew that this guy was teasing him, and immediately shut up. Antares chuckled, just kidding, you're not that petty, are you? Lin Moyu said, I just want to know something about the great world. Antares said in a deep voice, if you go to the great world in the future, you must hide your talent well, this is very important. Antares had said that some races have secret methods to seize other people's talents. There are also strange existences like the soul race, who can take over someone else's body. The soul race often does things like seizing bodies. Lin Moyu nodded, I will. You don't need to ask too much about other things, you will understand when you get to the great world. But there's one thing you can start thinking about now. Antares had put away his smile at this time, and was talking to Lin Moyu very seriously. The breath fluctuated, and the soul power was exhausted again. The skill star core hasn't been fed yet. I'll ask you later, let this dragon kill you a few more times. Antares excitedly spewed out dragon breath. Lin Moyu was surrounded by dragon breath, dying over and over again. Antares seemed to be addicted to killing, and was howling while spewing dragon breath. Lin Moyu sighed helplessly, this guy is really a bit abnormal. He must be bored. Lin Moyu blurted out, do you want to find a female dragon? Get lost, I'll destroy you. Antares roared and burned Lin Moyu to ashes. A flash of purple light, Lin Moyu was reborn again, and continued to inject soul power. At the same time, he sighed helplessly, okay, what do I need to consider now? Antares, like a schizophrenic, returned to his serious appearance, your goal is to become the world master of this small world. At the same time, you must also make this small world devour two fragment worlds. To accomplish these things, you must become a 0.1 transcendent god. At the same time, this world is just a small world after all, and its limit is transcendent god. When you reach the point where you can't advance any further, you must make two choices. The first is to take the entire world out with you, expose the entire world to the great world, and accept the baptism of the great world's laws. The second is for you to go out yourself, and this world will remain as it is. Lin Moyu pondered Antares' words, what's the difference between the two choices? Antares said in a deep voice, the difference is huge. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's body trembled, and the skill star core was finally full. It began to spin rapidly, emitting light and heat. Lin Moyu knew that another soul skill with 100% fusion was about to be born. Lin Moyu's body also exuded an unusual aura. Pervert. Antares couldn't help but curse. Chapter 725. Continue, don't stop. The skill star core is getting brighter and hotter. Flames are generated in the rapid rotation. Lin Moyu no longer had the mind to talk to Antares, and stared closely at the skill star core. The second star is about to be born. Antares also entered Lin Moyu's soul, and appreciated the grand occasion with Lin Moyu. Soul fusion is 100%, and ordinary skills are transformed into soul skills. What you call soul skills are also called spells in the great world. And 100% fusion, the skill star core turns into a star, is also called a stellar spell. Those spells that have not yet formed a star are called planetary spells. Spells can carry laws, and the amount of laws that different levels of spells can carry is also different. The amount of laws that stellar spells can carry is several times, or even dozens or hundreds of times that of planetary spells. It's so good, what a beautiful star. According to legend, the birth of a star is accompanied by very wonderful things. It's rare to see it a few times in a strong person's life. Cherish it. Antares murmured, seeming to be saying it to Lin Mo Yu, and also seeming to be saying it to himself. Lin Mo Yu firmly remembered Antares's words. At this moment, his attention was completely drawn to the soon-to-be-born star, and he didn't answer Antares. Boom! The skill star core reached its limit and exploded violently. It transformed into a ball of blazing flames, rising into the soul world. The light from the explosion swept across the entire soul world, and the soul world seemed to undergo some subtle changes. This is. As the star exploded, Lin Mo suddenly saw something wondrous. It was something he had never seen before. At the very center of the extremely brilliant explosion, there was a small black dot. The small black dot seemed to be connected to somewhere. Lin Mo's attention was originally focused on the star, especially after hearing Antares's intentional or unintentional words, he became extra vigilant. Now, looking at it, he indeed saw something different. That pitch-black dot was like a bottomless cave, filled with mystery, deeply attracting him. But the small black dot appeared abruptly and disappeared even faster. It lasted for less than half a second before disappearing. It was almost fleeting. By the time Lin Mo came back to his senses, the skill star core had turned into a star, hanging high in the soul space, releasing scorching light. Compared to the star formed by wings of the undead, this new star seemed a bit lonely, a solitary one, there. But it didn't detract from its nobility. It was fundamentally different from those planetary-level soul skills. Lin Mo immediately felt that his soul space seemed to have expanded a bit, and his soul level had also increased accordingly. He had taken another small step on the road from level 93 to level 94. As long as he took a few more steps like this, he could reach level 94. Once the soul level is high, combat power can be greatly improved, and it is a comprehensive improvement without any shortcomings. Did you see anything just now? Antares's voice sounded. Lin Mo replied, I saw a black dot, it seemed very mysterious, but it disappeared too quickly, I couldn't see it clearly. Antares chuckled, remember that black dot. What is that? Is it important? Lin Mo instinctively felt that the small black dot was very mysterious, and it seemed to have a strong attraction to him, but he didn't know what was inside. It's very important, it's important to everyone, but you just need to remember it for now. You are not qualified to touch it right now. Antares was very serious, obviously not wanting to say any more. Lin Mo naturally understood its words and didn't ask any more questions. Next was the time for harvest. He had finally transformed an ordinary skill into a soul skill, and it was still a perfect stellar level spell. With an excited mood, he checked the skill. Skeletal Fangs Fusion Degree 100%. Release Skeletal Fangs to attack. The number and power are determined by the amount of mental energy consumed. That's it. Looking at the skill description, Lin Mo was slightly stunned, with a very strange expression. Antares also noticed Lin Mo's expression. What's wrong? Lin Mo said, my skill is a bit strange. What's so strange about it? Don't beat around the bush, can't you be more straightforward? Antares looked at Lin Mo with a look of disgust. Lin Mo didn't know how to explain, let me demonstrate it for you. Spell. Skeletal Fangs. Pointing a finger at the sky, the skill was activated. A ball of white light lit up at the fingertip, and then the white light exploded, turning into tens of thousands of sharp white bones, breaking through the sky. The fangs were as fast as lightning, instantly crossing tens of thousands of meters, as if they were teleporting. If Antares's eyesight wasn't good enough, it would have almost been unable to see them clearly. Only when the fangs had completely disappeared did the roar sound in his ears. Lin Mo himself possessed more than 2.6 million units of mental energy, and with the bonus from the Monarch Scepter, his mental energy had exceeded 3 million. When demonstrating the skill just now, Lin Mo directly used 1/3 of his mental energy, which was 1 million mental energy. Using 1 million mental energy to cast a skill, even the strongest forbidden spell in the mage system wouldn't require such a high amount of mental energy. Mental energy can be regarded as the external manifestation of soul strength. Similarly, manipulating a large amount of mental energy also requires an extremely strong soul. Manipulating 1 million mental energy was not difficult for Lin Mo. The mental energy was replenished completely in the instant it was consumed, as if it had not been consumed at all. The All-Connect talent silently played its role. Antares looked at Lin Mo's skill demonstration and felt that something was not quite right. Before it could speak, Lin Mo released the skill a second time. This time, Lin Mo's fingertip carried lightning. Lin Mo used the law of lightning, which was also the only law that Lin Mo could currently wield. Using the same 1 million mental energy, a pure white ball of light lit up at the fingertip. The pure white ball of light rose into the sky with the lightning, and then exploded in the air with a bang, illuminating an area of more than 10 miles like daylight. It was as if a pure white little sun had appeared in the sky, and the white light lasted for several seconds before disappearing. Failed. Antares was stunned. Failed. Lin Mo nodded, unable to bear the law. Impossible. Antares felt incredulous in shock. A perfect stellar level spell that cannot bear the law, it had never seen such a thing in its long life. Lin Mo smiled wryly, I can probably guess what's going on. When the star illuminated the soul just now, Lin Mo felt a trace of something was wrong. Now he was 100% sure that the Grand World Rune was playing tricks. Antares asked with doubt, is it the Grand World Rune? Lin Mo nodded with difficulty, it should be, I felt something was wrong just now. Faced with the actions of the Grand World Rune, even Antares was a little helpless this time. The last time it failed to prevent Lin Mo from awakening his skills, this time the Grand World Rune changed its method. It was clearly a perfect stellar level spell, but it wouldn't let it bear the skill, making it even worse than a planetary level spell with a low fusion degree. One can imagine how depressed he was. Antares wanted to comfort Lin Mo, but didn't know where to start. Lin Mo shook off his wry smile, and a firm look appeared in his eyes. Misfortune and fortune depend on each other, who can say for sure what the result will be? The Grand World Rune is not omnipotent, there will always be a way to deal with it. Moreover, even without the law, my skill is not bad in power. While speaking, Lin Mo kept firing skeletal fangs towards the sky, looking like he was venting his inner depression. Antares looked at Lin Mo, and its eyes changed slightly. Continue, don't stop. Chapter 726. There is no most shameless, only more shameless. Lin Mo followed Antares' words and continued to release skeletal fangs. Moreover, the mental energy consumed became more and more massive. With the All-Connect talent, he didn't have to worry about the consumption of mental energy at all. All the consumed mental energy would be distributed to each summoned creature. The mental energy would be replenished in the instant it was consumed. Lin Mo could wield mental energy unscrupulously. When the mental energy consumed by each skill reached 3 million, the number of skeletal fangs had exceeded 100,000. The power and speed were greatly improved, and Lin Mo couldn't even see clearly with the eye of the soul. He could only see the skeletal fangs flicker from the light ball at his fingertip, and then disappear without a trace. At that speed, it's more than 100,000 meters per second. It might reach 1 million or 10 million meters per second. The speed is too fast, too fast. As for the power, Lin Mo also has a rough estimate. Although invisible, the space that the bone fangs pass through leaves faint traces. The space seems to be torn, but not completely, leaving a deep scratch. From this, it can be said that the power of the bone fangs is definitely not weak. Close to a high-level god-tier professional, Lin Mo was using his skills, telling Antares not to stop, but Antares closed his eyes. It wasn't sleeping, but sensing something. Lin Mo could feel Antares' soul power fluctuating violently. Then a huge eye appeared on Antares' forehead, a third eye. Divine Dragon Eye. Antares used the Divine Dragon Eye on its main body for the first time. Under the Divine Dragon Eye, everything will be revealed. Even the Great World Runes can be seen. Antares observed the bone fangs with the Divine Dragon Eye for a full minute. Then it said, attack me, at maximum intensity. Lin Mo unhesitatingly aimed the skill at Antares. Anyway, it wasn't the first time. Lin Mo had no psychological burden. The bone fangs landed on Antares' body. This level of attack was not even a tickle for Antares. Antares felt it for a while and slowly said, okay, stop. Lin Mo stopped. What did you find? Antares said, a kind of law I have never seen or heard of. Huh, under the curse of the Great World Runes, the bone fangs could not carry the laws. But Antares said that he sensed the laws, even a kind of law that he had never seen before. Once again breaking Lin Mo's imagination. Antares shook his dragon head. Let me think, how should I describe it? It is full of the aura of death, but there seems to be a trace of life in death. This is similar to your undead summons. Lin Moi thought of the scene when he used his skills, like the descent of the undead world, and blurted out, I want to call it the undead law. Very appropriate, indeed. Antares reorganized his words, I sense the undead law in your spells. This undead law exists in the spells themselves, not from outside. Judging from this, although the Great World runes can suppress your stellar level spells and prevent your laws from merging into them, it cannot suppress the laws carried by the spells themselves. Lin Moi asked, in the Great World, are there any spells that carry laws themselves? At this moment, he followed Antares' words and renamed soul skills as spells. Although soul skills were already a habit, there was a more common name in the Great World. Various races have their own names for their abilities, and spells are just the most common and popular one. It's like a world lingua franca, everyone can understand. But fellow villagers still use their own dialects. In the future, when going to the Great World, Lin Moi must also do as the Romans do. Antares replied, spells that carry laws are not non-existent, but they are very rare. And these spells are very powerful. Lin Moi said, then how can I enhance the laws in soul skills? No, spells. Antares shook his head, you can only rely on yourself to understand. Laws are a bit mysterious. Use this skill more often and understand it more, and maybe you can enhance it. And I feel that instead of comprehending other laws, it's better to comprehend the undead law. The undead law is the law of your profession, and it is much more powerful than any thunder and lightning law. Lin Moi also knew that his profession was to deal with undead creatures. Understanding the undead law is naturally the best. Of course, Lin Moi also had a wild ambition, he didn't want to give up the law of time, and if possible, master it together. Lin Moi said, I will study hard, my soul power is still abundant, I should be able to move another skill star core out. Antares' dragon eyes lit up, and he became energetic all of a sudden, go and move it quickly, let me continue to kill later. Madman. Lin Moi was too lazy to pay attention to this guy, his soul power moved slightly, and he entered his soul world. In the soul world, the stellar level spell representing Wings of the Undead was like a fireball, high above, and 5 planetary level spells were rotating around it. Not far away, the Bone Fangs, which was also a stellar level spell, seemed to be alone, all by itself. In the soul space, soul power permeated. To maintain these skill star cores transformed into spells, a huge amount of soul power needs to be constantly consumed. Only when the soul power is abundant can one go to the skill space to transport again. Now Lin Moi's soul power is abundant, and he feels that he can move another skill star core over. Lin Moi once again rushed into the skill space like a robber, quickly locking onto the nearest skill star core. Soul power wrapped it and dragged it out. It's harder than last time. Because there are fewer skill star cores, the spatial binding force is correspondingly greater. But it still couldn't stop the robber like Lin Moi. Lin Moi dragged it out of the skill space. The binding force of the skill space wanted to stop Lin Moi, but it seemed so helpless. Half a day later, the skill star core was dragged away from its birthplace and entered another unfamiliar environment. Along a fixed route, Lin Moi transported the skill star core into the soul world with incomparable skill. He found a suitable place to fix it, and then soul power rushed into it desperately. The skill star core seemed to realize its fate and cooperated with Lin Moi to devour soul power. It seemed to be really starving, eating heartily. Eat, eat, no matter how much you can eat, I can afford it. Lin Moi wasn't feeding soul power at all, but stuffing it. He ignored his soul's ability to withstand it and acted recklessly. He stuffed it happily, and the skill star core ate happily. The light began to become strong, brighter and brighter. Kill me, okay, here it comes. A cheap and invincible voice sounded, and what responded to him was an even more shameless voice. Antares slapped Lin Moi with excitement. This time, he didn't use dragon breath, he changed another method. That feeling was like using all kinds of murder methods. Anyway, Lin Moi couldn't be killed, and Antares didn't need to have any scruples. Slap after slap, Lin Moi died again and again, and was reborn in the purple light of talent. Antares urged, can you do it, weakling, hurry up and speed up torture. Stuff it, soul power, stuff it in quickly, don't be afraid of bursting it, you can't burst it. Antares shouted excitedly, cheap beyond imagination. Lin Moi thought of a sentence, there is no cheapest, only cheaper. Chapter 727 Two choices, no need to think about it. The new skill star core begins to charge. This is a new term that Lin Moi came up with, which is very appropriate. During the charging period, the man and the dragon continued the conversation they had interrupted earlier. Antares asked, "Where were we? You said the two methods are very different." Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at the guy, clearly knowing that he was doing it on purpose. With Antares' level, how could he forget where he was? Antares chuckled and continued, "Let's talk about the first method first, which is to completely expose this small world in the big world. The advantage of doing this is that the small world can bathe in the laws of the big world. The process of the great world's laws baptism will last for hundreds of years. As the Lord of the world, you can easily comprehend the laws during this period. This is the preferential treatment of the great world for the newly promoted small world." Lin Moyu asked in a deep voice, "What about the disadvantages?" It is impossible for everything to have only advantages and no disadvantages. With so many advantages, there must be disadvantages. Antares continued, "The disadvantage is also obvious. After the exposure, this small world will lose the protection of the great world's laws. You don't need me to say how many strong people and powerful races will come when the Lord of the world can be contested and replaced. The newly promoted small world is like a fragrant meat bun, and everyone wants to take a bite. Lin Moyu, as the Lord of the world, bears the brunt." Lin Moyu was not confident in defending against the competition from all sides. Moreover, he had to consider the safety of others in the world. The aftermath of the war would bring disaster to the entire world. What others want is just the position of the Lord of the world, and the preferential treatment of the great world's laws baptism. Those foreign powerhouses don't care about the life and death of the native creatures of this world. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu felt horrified. He could imagine what the world would become without the protection of the great world's laws. His small world was still too weak. Now, under the protection of the great world's laws, there is a strong and solid barrier outside the small world. It is very difficult for other powerhouses to invade. They can only use some special methods to invade this world. Only in this case, the small world has a chance to protect itself. Seeing Lin Moyu's solemn expression, Antares continued, "If you choose this path, I can help you guard the world. With me, guaranteeing your safety is not a big problem." Lin Moyu could understand what Antares meant. Guaranteeing his safety was no problem, but it was hard to say about others. If there was a real war, even the aftermath would not be something ordinary people could bear. It was even possible for some powerhouses to destroy the world if they couldn't get it. Lin Moyu asked, "How do other small worlds ascend?" There are various ways to do it, but generally speaking, wars are unavoidable. Some small worlds are located in remote areas, and no one noticed when they ascended. After 100 years, the great world's laws baptism will be over, and then no one will come to snatch it. Remote location. Obviously, his world was not. It hadn't even been promoted yet, and it was already being targeted. And it was being targeted by more than one race. The Soul Clan, the demons, the forces within the Dragon Clan, and the old man riding the green ox. Lin Moyu felt that his world was already a sweet treat in the eyes of others. It was really a headache. The problem is, the world hasn't been promoted yet. How did others discover it? Faced with Lin Moyu's question, Antares smiled contemptuously, "Then you have to ask those guys from the last era. It's useless to talk about these now. Let me tell you about the second option. If you choose the second option, then you will leave the world yourself and enter the big world alone. In this way, you will lack the great world's laws baptism, which is not good for your growth, but of course, there is no harm. The advantage is that this world can still be protected by the great world's laws, and the people in this world can also be safe. Moreover, you have become the Lord of the world, which can further enhance the security of the world. You will naturally understand in the future. You can wait until you are strong enough to protect the world before letting the world ascend." Antares explained the advantages and disadvantages of the two methods clearly. Everything was up to Lin Moyu to choose. Lin Moyu didn't think for too long and already had an answer. This world has people he needs to protect, and he can't let them be in danger. He is not a great saint. He even kills people without blinking an eye and never shows mercy to his enemies. Demons, dragons, gods, and humans have died at his hands. As long as they become his enemies, he can kill them without mercy. But at the same time, he also has relatives and friends in this world. He will not allow them to be harmed either. I know what to do. Lin Moyu already had an answer. Antares seemed to have guessed Lin Moyu's choice. "All right. Saying that, it slapped Lin Moyu again. 4 times in a row, activating the talent. This time, Antares didn't yell, and Lin Moyu remained silent. After 4 slaps, purple light rose from Lin Moyu's body, and his talent was activated. After 3 rounds, the skill star core was finally full. It had turned into a ball of fire, leaping from an ordinary skill star core to a perfect stellar level spell. Antares appeared in Lin Moyu's soul world again. At the moment when the stellar level spell truly took shape, the small black dot in the Big Bang was a scene it really wanted to see. Lin Moyu also wanted to take another look, although it was only a fleeting moment and he couldn't see anything. But he wanted to remember that feeling. Antares told him to remember it first, it wouldn't be wrong. The ball of fire exploded, radiating light. Lin Moyu saw the small black dot again in the center of the explosion. The small black dot lasted only half a second. Lin Moyu focused his attention infinitely, extending the half second as much as possible. Half a second was very short, and Lin Moyu still didn't see anything. But this small black dot had an infinite attraction to him. Not only to him, but it should be the same for others. Antares squinted his eyes with a look of infatuation. Lin Moyu knew that this guy must have discovered something. Antares said that it was something all powerhouses wanted to see. It's just that there are too few opportunities to see it. He provided such an opportunity, and Antares seized it. Hopefully, it will be helpful to Antares. If he could really help Antares, Lin Moyu would also be sincerely happy. Looking at the rising star, he felt a sudden shock in his soul. That oppressive feeling reappeared. Great World Rune. Lin Moyu gritted his teeth, feeling like he wanted to eat someone. The Great World Rune struck again. Needless to say, this newly born, seemingly perfect stellar level spell could not carry the laws either. The Great World Rune used a method he couldn't understand to limit his growth. This feeling was very annoying, but there was no way to deal with it. Fortunately, the Great World Rune could not suppress the laws carried by the spell itself. Putting aside the unhappiness in his heart, he checked the newly promoted stellar level spell. Bone Prison Fusion Degree 100% restricts the enemy, causing a paralysis effect. The bound enemy cannot act or counterattack. The number and duration of the bound enemies depend on the consumed mental power. Chapter 728. A Rare Sight, Dual Star Spell. Bone Prison. Lin Moyu often used it when he first obtained this skill. At the time, his combat strength was not strong, and he needed to control the enemy in various ways. Whether it was chasing down enemies, controlling the rhythm of battle, or interrupting enemy skills, the role of Bone Prison was very obvious. Later, as the enemies became stronger and stronger, the skill's intensity began to lag behind. Moreover, as combat strength continued to become stronger, the combat style also became more open and expansive, and the frequency of using Bone Prison also became less and less. In the recent battles, this skill has not been used at all. Lin Moyu always believed that there are no useless skills, only useless professionals and unsuitable scenarios. The temporary uselessness of Bone Prison does not mean it will always be useless in the future. Finally, now Bone Prison has been transformed from an ordinary skill into a spell, and it is still a stellar level spell. Even if it cannot carry the law, it is still very powerful. The skill level is no longer its limitation, only mental power is its limitation. As long as the mental power is sufficient, the enemy can be completely restricted, and Lin Moyu has the most mental power. As the skill becomes a spell, the characteristic of reduced damage also disappears, and it will no longer affect the damage to the enemy. Imagine controlling the enemy and attacking when the enemy cannot resist. How cool would that be? Lin Moyu couldn't wait to control the Dragon Emperor now and beat it hard. But Lin Moyu also knew that the Dragon Emperor was not so easy to control. I'm afraid that even if he used all his mental power, it would be difficult to effectively control it. After all, the levels of the two sides are too far apart. He is only level 80, and the Dragon Emperor is already level 99, the peak of the demigod realm. Take another half step forward, and that would be a genuine god level. And with the unknown giant axe in hand, the combat power is infinitely close to the god level. As well as the last skill that appeared like a black hole, Lin Moyu felt that it would still be difficult to defeat the Dragon Emperor with these two skills alone. It's not an attack skill, even if it can't carry the law, the impact is not significant. Lin Moyu comforted himself. Facing the powerful and mysterious Great World Rune, he had already won by luck once. This time, the Great World Rune never gave him a chance again, directly sealing off his spell, preventing it from carrying the law. In this way, even a perfect stellar level spell would only be slightly stronger than an ordinary skill. Compared to those spells that carry the law, it is much weaker. Antares seemed to still be comprehending and did not open his eyes. Lin Moyu did not disturb it either, silently watching the new resident in the soul world. The star representing Bone Prison is also a lonely one, with no planetary level spells surrounding it. However, this is also normal. In Lin Moyu's vision, he would eventually transform all planetary level spells into stellar level ones. The fusion degree of all spells will be increased to 100%. Even the Great World Rune cannot stop him from doing so. What's going on? Lin Moyu discovered that the two stars representing Bone Prison and Bone Spikes were approaching. There seemed to be a connection between the two sides. Lin Moyu saw that it seemed that fire lines stretched out from the two stars, like tentacles, connecting with each other. They approached each other, and after reaching a certain distance, they began to rotate around each other. The speed of rotation became faster and faster, forming a gorgeous picture. It's a binary star. Antares' sigh suddenly sounded. It did not know when it had woken up, and was staring intently at the constantly rotating two stars. Lin Moyu asked, "What is a binary star?" Antares' eyes flashed with brilliance. Each star represents a type of spell. When two stars with similar properties approach each other, they are attracted to each other and form a connection. After that, a pattern of you and me in you is formed, which is called a binary star. Once a binary star is formed, the effect of the spell will increase dramatically. Using one spell, you can achieve the effects of two spells, but only consume the energy of one spell. The most critical thing is that the two spells can carry two copies of the law at the same time and erupt together. Speaking of this, Antares suddenly closed his mouth. It realized that Lin Moyu could not carry the law, and he was just talking about Lin Moyu's pain point. Lin Moyu didn't care, he grasped the key points from Antares' words. "I want to do an experiment." Lin Moyu was very curious about the binary star spell and wanted to know the real effect. Antares obviously wanted to know too, and agreed without saying a word. Antares reached out and grabbed a few monsters, with high and low levels, the low ones only level 70, and the high ones reaching level 80. Without exception, these monsters all came from the lower space. Those low-level monsters in the upper space no longer even have the qualifications to become experimental subjects. Facing Antares, these monsters could only tremble uneasily, without any resistance. That appearance, like meat on a chopping board, had no other possibility but to wait for death. The law of survival of the fittest is revealed by truly at this moment. Lin Moyu locked on one of the monsters and used the spell. 0 Seeking fresh flowers 0. Spell, Bone Prison. This monster, which was originally struggling uneasily, suddenly became stiff. A layer of bone appeared on its body, and it was paralyzed by the bone prison as if it had been petrified. Almost at the same time as the bone prison was formed, the bone spikes erupted. With a bang, the monster was smashed into pieces. Tens of thousands of bone spikes burst out from inside the monster's body, passing through the monster's body and tearing the monster into pieces. Interesting. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth raised slightly, and the slight unhappiness just now was swept away. He could feel that the bone spikes erupted from the bone prison. Moreover, the eruption was not just one point, but various points all over the body. The bone prison became the carrier of the bone spikes, and while controlling the monster, it attacked the monster like thorns. 0. Binary star spell. This is the binary star spell that Antares said. Using one skill, you can form the effect of two skills, and only consume one mental power. He only needs to use bone prison to control the monster, and bone spikes will attack at the same time. In this way, the practicality of bone prison is greatly improved. Moreover, the most troublesome hit rate problem of bone spikes seems to have been improved. Try multiple targets. Lin Moyu used the same mental power to soul lock multiple targets. Using the spell, bone prison appeared on several monsters at the same time. The controlled monsters could not move at the same time, and a layer of bone appeared on their bodies. Then there were several bangs, and the white as snow bone spikes roared out, shooting through the monster's body and tearing them apart again. It was still a meow sha without any suspense. However, it was still different from the skill just now. Using the same mental power to control several monsters, the number of bone spikes was also reduced accordingly. The total amount remained the same, but the number of attacks each monster received was reduced. Bone spikes are evenly distributed by skills. Then what if you attack with bone spikes? Lin Moyu pointed his finger. Spell, bone spikes. A burst of pure white light erupted, followed by a flash of skeletal fangs. The monsters struck by the skeletal fangs instantly developed bones on their bodies, as the bone prison completely restrained them. Using it in reverse yielded the same effect. As long as one spell hit, it would trigger a second. Truly remarkable. Try it on me. Antares narrowed his eyes, volunteering once again as test subject number 6. Chapter 729. The Raiders revisit the Dragon Clan, not enough killing. Ordinary monsters were insufficient to test the strength of the skill. Antares consciously volunteered as a test subject. Lin Moyu couldn't shake its existence, making it perfect for the role. Lin Moyu used Bone Prison on Antares. This time, Lin Moyu used all his mental power, holding nothing back. He knew that even with all his mental power, he couldn't harm Antares. The difference in their levels was like heaven and earth, immeasurable. 3 million units of mental power were instantly depleted. Antares wasn't restrained. The bone prison merely flickered on Antares' body, collapsing in less than 0.1 seconds. It could be said that it had no effect whatsoever. But within that 0.1 second, the bone prison, despite already collapsing, unleashed skeletal fangs. Twin star spells weren't affected by failed restraints. The skeletal fangs exploded on Antares, striking Antares' tough dragon scales and creating intense impact sounds. Antares carefully considered it, then said in a deep voice, "A very good spell, combining control and attack. If the enemy is weaker, being restrained would mean instant death. The attack power is about level 90, enough to instantly kill level 90 professionals." Antares' feelings were similar to Lin Moyu's. The power of skeletal fangs depended on the mental power consumed. His current mental power was only 3 million. If he used strong soldier skill, his mental power could increase significantly, and the power would increase accordingly. Moreover, with a 500% additional damage bonus, killing a level 92 god level would be no problem. With this skill, even without using summoning skills, Lin Moyu could fight against god level professionals. Antares sighed, "What a pity, such a good skill, yet it can't bear the laws." Lin Moyu smiled and said nothing. Not now, doesn't mean not in the future. He didn't believe that the Great World Rune was unsolvable, otherwise how would the first time be explained? There's always a way to solve problems. Lin Moyu asked, "Since there are twin star spells, are there 3-star, 4-star, or 5-star spells?" Antares nodded, "I've seen 3-star and 4-star spells, 5-star spells I've only heard of but never seen. Even in the Great World, it's rare to have people with 5 perfect level stellar spells, especially those with similar properties." Lin Moyu asked, "What's the highest number of stars possible?" Legend has it that there are 10-star spells, but no one has ever seen them. They're just legendary things, impossible to achieve in reality. If you have the chance to get a 5-star spell, you can already dominate among your peers. In Antares' explanation, the more connected stars, the greater the spell's power. Especially after 3 stars are connected, forming a 3-star spell, the power increases significantly. Each additional star doubles the power. Lin Moyu said with a smile, "But I can't use the laws." Antares shook his head, "That doesn't matter, even without the laws, as long as you have enough stars, you can still crush your opponents." Lin Moyu exhaled a long breath, "Please send me to the Dragon Clan world again." "You're planning to continue? I need to get some real combat experience." Dragon Clan world. Lin Moyu appeared silently. His eyes were filled with killing intent and determination. He wasn't finished with what he needed to do in the Dragon Clan world, he wanted to continue. How could just slaughtering 2 cities be enough? When the Dragon Clan invaded, they slaughtered many cities. At that time, human casualties were in the hundreds of millions. How many Dragon Clan members has he killed? It's just the beginning. Kindness must be repaid, and revenge must be taken. Lin Moyu said he had a clear sense of gratitude and grudges. The wings of the undead unfolded, randomly choosing a direction, the wings shook, and his body flew away like lightning. This is the wind element area, full of wind. Lin Moyu came on the wind, descending with an aura of destruction. A large city came into view, and the next second Lin Moyu was already in the city. The city's defense system discovered Lin Mo-yu, an outsider, and alarm bells rang loudly, and the formation was activated simultaneously. But it was too late. Lin Mo-yu had already rushed into the city. Vast soul power spread out, locking onto thousands of Dragon Clan members. White light appeared at his fingertips. Spell: Bone Prison. Using 3 million mental power, it was a full-strength strike in a normal state. White light flickered in the city, and all the Dragon Clan people locked by Lin Mo-yu were paralyzed. Bones appeared on their bodies at the same time, and then skeletal fangs erupted from the bones, tearing them to pieces. With one strike, thousands of Dragon Clan people died on the spot. Among them were high-level Dragon Clan members, and Dragon Clan generals. Regardless of their level, the result was the same. Antares' evaluation was very objective. Lin Mo-yu's skill was enough to kill level 90 god-level professionals. Which also meant that the power of this attack reached level 90, which was the category of the Dragon King. No matter how powerful the Dragon Clan generals were, they couldn't stop the Dragon King's attack. Lin Mo-yu's attack didn't scare off the Dragon Clan people. This was a large city of the Dragon Clan, with hundreds of thousands of Dragon Clan people living in the city, and a huge army stationed. A large number of Dragon Clan soldiers flew into the air and pounced towards Lin Mo-yu. This time, Lin Mo-yu didn't summon the undead army. 0. This time, he was going to kill the enemy himself. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Lin Mo-yu snorted softly. Power Gathering, Strong Soldier. 2 spells were activated at the same time. The 2 states were activated at the same time, pushing Lin Mo-yu's combat power to the limit. Soul power was rapidly consumed, and the level 81 soul power could last for a full 12 seconds, which was twice as long as before. However, Lin Mo-yu didn't need to care about the time at all. As long as there were enough enemies for him to kill, the duration of the spell could be extended indefinitely. The attributes were pushed to the limit, and the level 93 soul level allowed Lin Mo-yu's attributes to also reach the level 93 level. Mental power broke through the 5 million mark, increasing by more than 70%. The powerful mental power greatly increased the power of the spell. Lin Mo-yu attacked from left to right, continuously casting spells and throwing out skeletal fangs. No soul locking was needed, and no aiming was needed. There were too many enemies in the city. He only needed to sweep and sweep again. The skeletal fangs, driven by 5 million mental power, after exploding, numbered more than 200,000, covering a large area. The speed was so fast that it was invisible to the naked eye. Even with Lin Mo-yu's level 93 soul power, he could only see a faint trace. The space seemed to be cut by a sharp weapon. Although it had not yet shattered, it left countless marks. The attack of the bone fangs was infinitely close to level 96. Even if a level 95 Dragon King came, they would be extremely embarrassed in the face of the bone fangs. The dragon soldiers who had just taken off fell like raindrops. Bones appeared on their bodies. The bone prison erupted with the bone fangs, trapping them firmly. Lin Mo-yu stood in the air, indiscriminately sweeping through the entire city. Notifications of experience gained popped up like raindrops, and a constant stream of soul power surged in, transforming into the experience needed for leveling up. If this scene were seen by others, their eyes would definitely pop out. No one could ever level up like this. Treating the Dragon City as their own leveling ground. Treating the Dragon World as a dungeon. Dragon Generals were elite monsters, and Dragon Kings were bosses. The Dragon Emperor was naturally the biggest boss in this dungeon. In just a few minutes, the casualties among the dragons in the city were heavy. The 2 major spells, Gathering Power and Strengthening Soldiers, both had the effect of absorbing the souls of enemies and enhancing one's own soul level. Although the effect was not strong, Lin Mo-yu killed far too many. The soul level could not help but move forward, gradually reaching the limit of level 93. A dragon roar sounded in the air, and the Dragon Emperor frantically pounced from afar. Lin Mo-yu, you deserve to die. Chapter 730. Lin Mo-yu, you are dead. You're too late. Lin Mo-yu chuckled lightly. When there were still 10,000 meters between them, Lin Mo-yu pointed a finger at the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor's voice stopped abruptly, and his whole person appeared sluggish. The bone prison appeared on the Dragon Emperor. Then white light exploded, and the bone fangs erupted. The Dragon Emperor roared, and terrifying law energy burst out from his whole body, blocking the attack of the bone fangs. However, Lin Mo-yu's attack was too sudden, catching the Dragon Emperor off guard and causing him some superficial injuries. The scales on his body were broken, and his hair was disheveled, making him look very embarrassed. Lin Moyu used 5 million mental power, coupled with the additional 500% damage from strengthening soldiers, but could only cause superficial injuries to the Dragon Emperor. Without laws, it was a fatal flaw. It was okay to deal with Dragon Kings, but it was almost meaningless to deal with the half-step transcendent Dragon Emperor. With one blow, Lin Moyu also understood the limits of his skills. He grinned at the Dragon King and waved his hand. The wings of the undead shook, and Lin Moyu instantly disappeared without a trace. The Dragon King's pupils shrank sharply, and he lost Lin Moyu's shadow again. Lin Moyu, you bastard, you coward, you damned bastard. The Dragon Emperor roared in exasperation, but Lin Moyu had already left 10,000 miles away. Soul power was constantly supplied to the wings of the undead, and the speed of the wings of the undead reached its limit. In just a few seconds, he flew tens of thousands of kilometers, almost traversing the dragon world. At an alarming speed, Lin Moyu once again arrived at a city. He had no target, nor did he need one. He was here to slaughter the city, to avenge the human race's blood feud from 1,000 years ago. The domain divine stone kept rotating, absorbing the killing intent. Without the killing intent bothering him, Lin Moyu could always remain calm. Facing the Dragon Emperor, he did not engage in a prolonged battle at all, and retreated after one blow. Relying on the advantage of the wings of the undead, he cut off Soul Lock On, traveled tens of thousands of miles in an instant, and looked for new cities. The new city was not large, and there were not many dragons living in it. In Lin Moyu's eyes, however, there were a large number of dragon soldiers in this city. This is a military city, Lin Moyu said softly, his whole person appearing in the sky above the city. In the next second, a terrifying white light enveloped the entire city, and the city was filled with the aura of death. The bone fangs swept across the city with a sharp whistling sound. Huge buildings collapsed one after another, and the bone fangs pierced through them like tofu. Even hiding in the tens of meters underground was useless. The earth was riddled with holes, and the dragon's defenses collapsed almost instantly. A large amount of soul power poured in, and the previous consumption was quickly replenished. 2 minutes later, a huge aura appeared in the distant sky. It's here quickly this time. Lin Moyu sensed the Dragon Emperor's aura from afar. At the same time, a law shot from tens of thousands of meters away. The law was fast, but Lin Moyu was even faster. The wings of the undead shook, instantly cutting off the Soul Lock On and disappearing without a trace. The law lost its target and hit nothing. The law of stone carried tremendous power, like a meteorite falling, leveling a small mountain in the distance to the ground. The Dragon Emperor was so angry that he was about to go crazy. Looking at the devastated city, he roared madly. Although the death of a few dragons was nothing to him. The dragon world was not big, but not small either. There were tens of millions of dragons in it. The death of hundreds of thousands, or even millions, would not pose a threat to the dragons. But no matter how many dragons there were, they could not withstand Lin Moyu's slaughter. The news of Lin Moyu's city slaughter had spread throughout the Dragon Clan. If this continued, it would inevitably cause the Dragon Clan's confidence to collapse. He roared with unwillingness, one after another, but to no avail. The Dragon Emperor's eyes changed, and he seemed to have made a major decision. He clenched the transcendent great giant axe in both hands, and then raised it high. He chanted in his mouth, "The Dragon Clan is in trouble, please let the ancestor descend. The Dragon Clan is in trouble, please let the ancestor descend. The Dragon Clan is in trouble, please let the ancestor descend." The Dragon Emperor kept repeating this sentence, his bloodline burning fiercely, and the phantom of the divine dragon outside his body became solid. The giant axe lit up, and complex lines appeared on it. These lines formed a formation. The Dragon Emperor activated the formation with his own bloodline, and his face turned pale. Activating the formation required a lot of bloodline, and this time it caused great damage to the Dragon Emperor. The formation was finally completed, projecting a brilliant light. In the light, a giant dragon appeared. A giant dragon with a cyan body, exactly the same as the elemental giant dragon Lin Moyu had seen before. It exuded the aura of law, and the law also contained a strong personal will. This was a powerful person who had integrated the law into himself. The giant dragon seemed to be dozing off. It heard the Dragon Emperor's call and lazily opened its eyes to look at the Dragon Emperor. Mixed blood dragon, his words were filled with strong disdain. The mixed blood dragon deeply stimulated the Dragon Emperor. However, the Dragon Emperor dared not lose his temper. Instead, he bowed and said softly, "Greetings, sir." "Speak, what is it?" The elemental dragon still looked lazy, as if looking down on the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor swallowed his anger. "A freak has appeared here, causing a great threat to my dragon race." "Freak? How strange." The elemental dragon seemed a little interested, but only a little. The Dragon Emperor said, "He is a level 81 human." "What? A level 81 human?" The elemental dragon screamed strangely, with even more disdain in his words. "What's the use of a level 81 human? He can be sprayed to death in one breath." The elemental dragon said contemptuously, "Although you are just a mixed blood dragon, you are at least a demigod. And you are holding the giant dragon axe, which allows you to exert combat power infinitely close to the demigod level. You can't beat a level 81 human like this. What qualifications does this kind of waste have to ask for help?" The words mixed blood dragon stimulated the Dragon Emperor again. The Dragon Emperor took a deep breath. "It's not that I can't beat him, it's that he won't fight me. He has a skill that is very fast and can cut off soul lock. He keeps changing cities and commits massacres. Every time I catch up, he escapes." The elemental dragon laughed loudly. "There is such a thing." The Dragon Emperor said, "Please, sir, take action and help me destroy this person. We are conquering cities and territories for the Patriarch. Although we are only cannon fodder, we are still hard-working and willing." The elemental dragon waved his hand impatiently. Okay, I know. I'll give you something that should solve him." The Dragon Emperor was overjoyed. "Thank you, sir." Although he didn't know what level the other party was, or even the other party's name, the Dragon Emperor knew that the other party must be stronger than himself. The appearance of the dragon is the second goal he has pursued in his life. The first goal is naturally the return of the divine dragon to its ancestors. But he also knew that the return of the divine dragon to its ancestors was impossible. At most, he could only evolve into an elemental dragon. If you want to evolve into an elemental dragon, you must go to the dragon transformation pool. To go to the dragon transformation pool, you must have enough merit. He came here with a mission. The purpose is to eliminate the human race, and seize this world for his race, so that he can gain merit. In that way, you can enter the dragon transformation pool, not only have the opportunity to evolve into an elemental dragon, but also step into the demigod level. 1,000 years ago, the human race and the demons joined forces to block his path. 1,000 years later, Lin Moyu once again blocked his path. Moreover, after this help, even if he completes the task, the merit will be greatly reduced. No matter what the reason, he has hated Lin Moyu to the core. It is not enough to grind Lin Moyu's bones to ashes to quell the hatred in his heart. The formation on the giant dragon axe was still running, and a round, jade-like bead emerged from the formation. The bead looked somewhat similar to Antares' Dragon Ball. The abyssal demons like to use magic stones, while the dragons like to use dragon balls. Of course, it is not a real dragon ball, but a special material, a device made according to the appearance of a dragon ball. The Dragon Emperor held the dragon ball, and the power of his soul poured into it, and he immediately understood its function. This one is called the space-fixing bead. It contains a formation that can lock space and is enough to trap a demigod. Once trapped in it, it is difficult to escape. A sneer appeared on the Dragon Emperor's face, and his killing intent soared. Lin Moyu, you are dead. Chapter 731. Is this kind of mixed blood dragon worthy? Lin Moyu once again found a city. Lin Moyu discovered that the news of his arrival at the Dragon Clan's massacre should have spread. The defense formations of each city have been opened, and the Dragon Clan people in the city are waiting in battle. Lin Moyu glanced at it and saw a large number of Dragon Clan soldiers on the city wall, as well as warships that had already taken off. The formation formed a shield, covering the entire city. He did not sense the aura of a Dragon King. This is also a city without a Dragon King. The restoration of the Genesis staff has come to an end. If there are more dragon crystals, it can be completely restored. Although there are many Dragon Kings in the Dragon Clan, it is impossible for every city to have one. It can only be said that he was not lucky enough to meet one. Lin Moyu estimated that the Dragon Kings would not dare to come to him for trouble now. The high-level Dragon Kings have been killed by him, and even if ordinary Dragon Kings come in groups, they are just delivering food. With a thought, the sky instantly turned dark. Dark clouds rolled in the sky, as if another world had descended, appearing and disappearing in the dark clouds. In the dark clouds, countless undead legions rushed out. The skeleton dragon roared, spraying dragon breath on the formation. The headless knight launched a charge skill, hitting the formation desperately, and the formation was immediately twisted and deformed. The skeleton berserker and the skeleton mage launched attacks at the same time. The skeleton archers were at the rear, already pulling their bows to the full, and their souls locked onto the dragon clan behind the formation. When the formation is broken, they will launch a fatal attack. The dragon clan people in the city changed their expressions drastically. The timid ones were already scared out of their wits, slumped on the ground, shivering. Even the bold ones looked extremely ugly at this time, as if a disaster was imminent. This kind of battle is really a bit scary. The formation can only block for a while, or even not for a while. The magic crystals in the city have been operating at full power, but the formation is rapidly deforming under the attack, and it is about to collapse. All the attack methods in the city have been fully deployed, but these attacks have not had much effect on the undead legion. There are too many undead legions, rushing over overwhelmingly, making people feel extremely desperate. In just over a minute, the formation shattered like glass. The skeleton archers who had been waiting for a long time took action at the same time. Skill. Soul assassination. Rounds of invisible arrows fell on the dragon clan people, erupting in their souls. A large number of dragon clan people died silently. Their eyes were wide open before they died, looking extremely painful. The damage to the soul is far more painful than imagined. The dragon's breath enveloped the entire city, and countless dragon clan people screamed and fell in the dragon's breath. Their bones and flesh were eliminated, and their burning souls were burned, leaving only bones. Many dragon clan people never thought that they would eventually die in the dragon's breath one day. Massacre the city. Lin Moyu looked solemn, looking at the tragic situation in the city, without any sympathy or pity. Compared to the blood that the human race once paid, what does killing so few dragon clan count for? It's not even interest. Lin Moyu not only had no pity or sympathy in his heart, but also no hatred. At this moment, he was extremely calm and extremely rational. He knew what he was doing and what he should do. If possible, he would wipe out the dragon clan, leaving no one behind. As invaders, they must be prepared to be wiped out. There will be no prisoners, and the human race does not need prisoners. The dragon clan people are carrying out feudal resistance, and the ending was actually doomed when Lin Moyu arrived. 2 minutes later, a huge aura came from afar again. The dragon emperor arrived. From the moment Lin Moyu appeared here to the dragon emperor's arrival, only 5 minutes had passed. The dragon emperor's speed was already fast enough, but it was still one step too late. Lin Moyu saw the dragon emperor from afar, feeling the soul lock. At the same time, he also saw that the dragon emperor seemed to have a ball of light in his hand. This ball of light gave Lin Moyu a dangerous feeling. Lin Moyu instinctively wanted to leave, his soul power surged, the wings of the undead vibrated, severing the soul lock. But Lin Moyu was surprised to find that he was still in the same place. The space seemed to have become incredibly viscous, making it impossible for him to move within it. Not only him, but the undead legion was also the same. Even all the collapsing buildings, all kinds of rubble, were also suspended in midair. It wasn't that time had stopped, but that there seemed to be a layer of glue in the space, sticking everything together. The dragon emperor's frantic laughter came from his ear. Lin Moyu, you're dead. The dragon emperor rushed over quickly. Lin Moyu found that its speed was also affected. But the impact it suffered was far less than his own. The bead in the dragon emperor's hand emitted a hazy light, enveloping it. It's this bead. Lin Moyu instinctively felt that the current situation should all be caused by the bead in the dragon emperor's hand. This bead, which looked like a dragon ball, constantly emitted light, and there seemed to be array patterns on it. At the same time, a strong aura of law was also revealed. The law was very strong, seeming to surpass the dragon emperor himself. Is this bead newly obtained? Lin Moyu had some guesses in his mind. If the dragon emperor had always possessed the bead, he would have used it long ago, and wouldn't have waited until now. Lin Moyu's soul moved, and a purple god-slaying lightning shot out. It was difficult for the main body to move, but it did not prevent him from firing the god-slaying lightning. The purple god-slaying lightning, fused with the law of lightning, also slowed down in the space, flying through the air at a speed visible to the naked eye. The dragon emperor easily dodged the god-slaying lightning. Don't struggle, you're dead. As he spoke, he raised the dragon axe, his eyes filled with bloodthirsty light, and slashed down at Lin Moyu. The dragon axe carried amazing power, accompanied by the Dragon Emperor's Law of Stone, falling down with great momentum. Swish! Lin Moyu suddenly disappeared. Along with Lin Moyu, the undead legion also disappeared. The dragon axe once again struck empty. The huge force landed in the city, making a roar. Because of the existence of the formation, the space was solidified, and the city collapsed at an extremely slow speed. First, cracks appeared, and then it slowly exploded. The whole process was like a slow motion slowed down hundreds of times. The Dragon Emperor was stunned. Lin Moyu was gone again. This is impossible. How could he escape? The Dragon Emperor was about to go crazy. It was fine the previous few times he escaped, but this time the space was solidified. How could Lin Moyu still escape? This was unreasonable, too unreasonable. The light of the Dragon Ball in his hand gradually weakened, and the formation covering the vast world disappeared. The space suddenly returned to normal. The entire city completely collapsed. The Dragon Emperor used all his strength in this axe, an attack infinitely close to the god level, completely razing the entire city to the ground. The remaining dragon race in the city also died in this axe. The Dragon Emperor confirmed that Lin Moyu was no longer here, and roared madly again. Its whole body of scales stood on end, and the shadow of the divine dragon Li Jiao emerged behind him, constantly roaring. The sound resounded throughout half of the dragon world. Antares had a smile in his eyes. How does it feel to escape death? Seeing Lin Moyu embarrassed, this guy was very happy. No feeling, I'm used to it. Lin Moyu was indeed used to dying, he didn't even know how many times he had died. Even if the Dragon Emperor's axe fell, it wouldn't kill him. So he wasn't afraid at all. It was just that Lin Moyu felt that it was meaningless for him to be a living target, so he activated Antares' dragon scales and ran away. Lin Moyu frowned. What is that thing in the Dragon Emperor's hand? He knew that Antares must have seen it. Antares said, that is a formation bead. Formation bead? Lin Moyu said that he didn't understand. Antares said, the formation bead records a formation, which can be activated with the power of the soul to directly set up the formation. Lin Moyu said, was the formation just now a space formation? Bullshit space formation, with its kind of mixed blood dragon, how could it be worthy? Chapter 732 The Vast World, what are you talking about? Antares was full of disdain. Lin Moyu felt that he seemed to have overestimated the Dragon Emperor too much. A half-step god level only, how could he have access to the top space law? Antares said, it just used the formation in the formation bead to solidify the space. There are many laws that can do this, such as the law of water, the law of gravity, and so on. The distance from the law of space is unknown how far. And this guy's formation bead was also borrowed from someone. Lin Moyu asked strangely, borrowed from someone? Is it strange? Antares asked back, it's not strange at all, they are just mixed blood dragons, like the abyss demons, they are all cannon fodder. As cannon fodder, if they can't beat it, they ask the superiors for help, what's so strange about that? Lin Moyu asked. Lillian said that behind the abyss demons is the demon race. Behind the Dragon Emperor should be the dragon race, isn't it your race? Antares denied Lin Moyu's words, what you said is not very accurate, in fact, what Lillian knows is just the tip of the iceberg. Lin Moyu looked at Antares with bright eyes, I would like to hear the details. Seeing that you asked sincerely, this dragon will be merciful and tell you. There are two major branches in the demon race, one is the hell-type demon, and the other is the abyss-type demon. In addition, there are some small branches, 967 will not mention it. Lillian belongs to the abyss-type demon, but she is also just cannon fodder, born and raised in the fragmented world. She has half-human blood, if she is discovered by the orthodox demons, she will die. Our dragon race is more complicated, first divided by blood strength, and then divided into various factions. The mixed blood dragons that come here belong to the element giant dragon line. If you subdivide a little more, they belong to the subordinates of the rock giant dragon line. Anyway, these things, when you get to the big world, you will naturally understand, it is not a big secret. Just listening, Lin Moyu felt the vastness of the big world. The dragon world and the abyss world, which span tens of thousands of kilometers, can only be regarded as fragmented worlds. And his world is a perfect world, but it is only a small world. According to Antares, his world is far more than that small. Because he has not yet truly entered the big world, and has not yet experienced the baptism of the laws of the big world. It is like being in an egg that is still hatching. If he truly enters the big world, the entire pattern of the small world will undergo a major change. From small to large, the volume of the entire world will be magnified more than 10 times. Of course, while accepting the benefits, one must also accept the cruelty of the great world. In the great world, there are many worlds where weak races survive, only to be destroyed for various reasons. And these reasons could be an experiment by a powerful individual, or the aftermath of a battle caused by a struggle between powerful individuals. The great world is both beautiful and dangerous. After understanding the cruelty and vastness of the great world, Lin Moyu was filled with anticipation for it. In the future, he must go out and see it properly, to appreciate the scenery. Lin Moyu asked, "Is there a way to deal with the formation in the Dragon Emperor's hands?" "It's just a broken formation, there are plenty of ways to deal with it, as long as I, the dragon, move a finger." "Stop, stop, stop." Lin Moyu interrupted Antares boasting, "I'm just asking, can you do it?" Antares shook his head, "It seems I can't, or rather, it's not that I can't. If I want to break the agreement, I can still force my hand." "Then you're just talking nonsense. I'm asking, do I have a way to deal with the formation?" Lin Moyu rolled his eyes at it. After talking for so long, it was all nonsense. Antares shook his head, well, your strength is still a bit lacking. If you had the strength of a half-step transcendent god, you could use laws to fight it. Even if you can't completely negate the effects of the formation, it would at least be enough for you to go toe-to-toe with that Dragon Emperor. You wouldn't be as helpless as you are now, with no way to deal with it, only able to escape back. That's just more nonsense. If he had the level of a half-step transcendent god, then there would be no need for such trouble, he would have already killed the Dragon Emperor. Among those of the same level, Lin Moyu had never been afraid of anyone, always taking the route of instant kills. Besides that, is there no other way? Lin Moyu asked. Antares tilted his head and thought for a moment, there's really no other good way. After all, this formation is at the transcendent god level, equivalent to the dragon axe in the Dragon Emperor's hand, and it just so happens to counter you. The Dragon Emperor is only a half-step transcendent god, and this kind of transcendent god level artifact can only exert an effect infinitely close to the transcendent god level in its hands. As long as Lin Moyu reaches the half-step transcendent god level, he can contend with it. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, I still want to try again. Antares was stunned, you really don't give up. I have an idea, I'll try one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll give up. Antares was somewhat helpless, all right, then go ahead and try again. It wasn't worried about Lin Moyu's safety. With its dragon scales, the formation could entrap Lin Moyu. Antares once again sent Lin Moyu into the dragon world. Lin Moyu restrained his aura, spread his wings of the undead, and flew towards the distance. Soon, a city appeared in his sight. A medium-sized city, neither large nor small, with a relatively small number of dragons living inside. The city's formation was activated, Lin Moyu disappeared, but that didn't mean he had left. The Dragon Emperor ordered all cities to be on alert, and to immediately contact him upon discovering Lin Moyu. The sky turned dark, and the undead army rushed towards the city with an aura of destruction. Alarms blared in the city, and all the dragons saw the overwhelming undead army rushing over. Their expressions changed drastically, filled with terror. The overwhelming undead army launched an attack on the city's defense formation. In just 1 minute, the formation was breached. Then came the bloody slaughter. 2 minutes later, the Dragon Emperor appeared in the distance. The formation bead in his hand flickered, the formation was activated, instantly covering a range of hundreds of kilometers. The space became viscous, and everyone and everything seemed to be trapped in a swamp, difficult to move. But the Dragon Emperor was stunned, he didn't see Lin Moyu. There was only the undead army here, without Lin Moyu's shadow. Just as he was puzzled, the undead army also disappeared. The Dragon Emperor stood in midair, somewhat hesitant, and also puzzled. Although the city had been beaten down, it had not been completely destroyed. Nearly half of the dragons inside had survived. Although they were all seriously injured, injuries were not a problem, as long as they weren't dead, even the most serious injuries could be healed. Until a few minutes later, he received another message that Lin Moyu had appeared in a large city thousands of kilometers away and was attacking the city. Without thinking, the Dragon Emperor immediately rushed over. By the time he arrived, the formation had already been broken, a large number of buildings in the city had collapsed, and skeletal dragons were wantonly spewing dragon breath. The dragons were screaming, constantly dying. The formation bead was activated again, once again trapping the undead army and stopping the battle. But here, there was still no Lin Mo Yu. Seconds later, the undead army disappeared from under his nose, leaving only a devastated city. Lin Mo Yu. The Dragon Emperor gritted his teeth until they bled. He had already guessed what Lin Mo Yu was doing. Lin Mo Yu had hidden himself and was only having the undead army attack. He was clearly not meeting him face to face. While the Dragon Emperor was thinking about countermeasures, he received another message. Lin Mo Yu had reappeared and was attacking the small city that had previously been breached. By the time the Dragon Emperor arrived, the small city that had only been half destroyed had been completely destroyed. The dragons who had originally survived had also been completely slaughtered. Chapter 733. Guerrilla Tactics, Power of Belief. Antares watched Lin Mo Yu, seeing through Lin Mo Yu's intentions. Lin Mo Yu was hundreds of kilometers away, controlling the undead army from a super long distance, ordering the undead army to attack. Perfectly avoiding the Dragon Emperor, not engaging in a head-on confrontation with the Dragon Emperor. Moreover, after attacking another city, he would return, like cleaning up the remaining garbage, making people unable to figure out his intentions. Lin Mo Yu had no purpose, doing as he pleased, attacking wherever he felt like it. When the mood struck, he might cross tens of thousands of kilometers, or he might only go to a place 2,000 or 3,000 kilometers away. One city after another was attacked by Lin Mo Yu. The powerful defense formations in the Dragon Clan cities could not last long against Lin Mo Yu's undead army. Once the formation was broken, what followed was a great slaughter. But Lin Mo Yu, the master, never showed his face. For a time, the dragon world was filled with panic, and all the dragons were in a state of terror. A world being scared like this by one person, the mixed blood dragons are just mixed blood dragons, a bunch of trash. This kid is having a great time killing, but this matter can't be done silently. Belief, one of the fundamental forces of the human race, may be helpful to you. Antares raised his claws, and like sneezing, spewed out a series of laws. The laws merged into the heaven and earth and disappeared. The next second, a large number of images suddenly appeared in the human world. These images appeared in the sky like projections, almost covering every corner of the human world. The human world is very large, with a population of over 1 billion. But in fact, the land area inhabited by the human race only accounts for less than 10% of the entire world. At least 90% of the area is ocean. Now Antares used secret techniques to transmit Lin Mo Yu's actions to the human world. 3. A hero should not be unknown. A hero's actions should be known to everyone. Divine General Lin is currently in the dragon world, fighting for the human race. Antares' voice, along with the images, spread throughout the entire human world. In the images, Lin Mo Yu controlled the undead legion, attacking the dragon race's cities. One city after another. Each time, they could kill large numbers of dragons. After watching for a while, people finally understood what Lin Mo Yu was doing. For a time, the world was in an uproar. No one could imagine that Lin Mo Yu, alone, had actually entered the dragon world, attacking their cities. This was an impossible event in the history of the human race, something they wouldn't even dare to imagine. Divine General Lin is actually slaughtering dragons in the dragon world. That's the Dragon Emperor, a truly top-tier powerful being. Isn't Divine General Lin very dangerous? In Shajing City, within the Imperial Palace. The lord of the country, Dongfang Yi, also saw the images and heard Antares' words. As the lord of the country, and also a divine-level expert, he naturally knew much more information than ordinary people. He analyzed the entire situation almost instantly and had a rough guess. Immediately, several orders were issued from the Imperial Palace, spreading throughout the country at an astonishing speed. The Shengxia Empire began to operate, with incredible efficiency. Much information about the dragon race began to be widely known. It turns out that thousands of years ago, the dragon race invaded our human world. The dragon race once slaughtered our cities and killed our people, with more than tens of millions dying under the dragon race's blades. The blood of the human race once stained the earth red, all because of the dragon race. For thousands of years, the dragon race had been driven out, so the human race's hatred for the dragon race wasn't deep. But now, after such publicity, people realized that the dragon race also bore deep-seated hatred. Once, city after city was destroyed, and tens of millions of humans died under the dragon race's swords. Moreover, not only were they killed, but many humans became the dragon race's food, being eaten alive. The hatred for the dragon race, at this moment, truly deepened. People began to understand Lin Moyu's actions, and even those who initially had dissatisfaction with Lin Moyu's city-slaughtering actions, now began to support Lin Moyu. This kind of hatred, more than just blood feud. It had simply reached the point where it was either you die or I perish. There was no possibility of reconciliation between the two sides, nor was there any possibility of becoming prisoners. Whichever side had the ability would inevitably put the other to death. Only one of the two could survive, and the other must perish. People were worried about Lin Moyu, and at the same time, they supported Lin Moyu. Not to say everyone, but at least more than half of the human race supported Lin Moyu. Belief began to concentrate, converging into a mysterious power, transmitted to Lin Moyu through the void. Antares felt this power for the first time, muttering to himself, "What a magical power. It's not a law, but it can contend with laws, truly amazing. Why couldn't our dragon race drive this power? What a pity. If our billions of dragons could be of one mind, how could we have come to this?" Antares sighed with emotion, his eyes filled with envy, and also some disappointment in his own race. The power of belief is very magical. Just like the cherry blossom country, the kimchi country. Although their national power is weak, and the people are somewhat shameless, they also possess the power of belief. The god of thought is a product of the power of belief. In the countless races of the great world, only a few races possess this power. But the only one who can truly drive this power is the human race. Lin Moyu felt a warm current entering his body, as if his body was immersed in a hot spring, very comfortable. This warm current eventually converged into the soul world, was eaten by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, and then transformed into incomparably pure soul power without impurities, spraying on Lin Moyu's soul body. In an instant, both soul power and soul level were improved. Lin Moyu felt that he was a little closer to level 94. Soul power was then converted into a large amount of experience. He had just been promoted to level 81 not long ago. Only a few days later, he was about to level up again. Antares' voice suddenly sounded in his soul. "How is it? How does the power of belief feel?" Lin Moyu asked strangely. "The power of belief, isn't that something only the god of thought needs? The pattern must be opened, the vision cannot be too short-sighted. The power of belief is a good thing, but also one of the fundamental forces of your human race. Comprehend it well. It is said that the power of belief is very magical. I cannot help you in this regard." Antares' words carried a trace of envy. It really could not help. Who let the dragon race have no power of belief? Lin Moyu knew that Antares must have taken action to help him. "How did you do it?" "It's just that I made what you did in the dragon race widely known. After all, you have worked so hard, you can't be unknown, and you don't want to be a mastermind behind the scenes. And that little guy named Dongfang Yi, he is quite smart, helped you a bit, can be regarded as fueling the flames. In addition, you already had a very high prestige, so this time, everyone's admiration for you was transformed into belief, becoming the power of belief." It sounded reasonable, and the fact was indeed so. If Lin Moyu had not originally had a very high prestige in the human race, the name of Divine General Lin, no one would have known. This time it would not have been possible to condense into the power of belief so smoothly. So everything was a natural thing, Antares just did it casually, plus Dongfang Yi's fueling the flames, this thing became like this. As for what benefits the power of belief can bring to Lin Moyu, only Lin Moyu himself knows. The wings of the undead vibrated, Lin Moyu disappeared again. Hundreds of kilometers away, on the city that had been crippled, the undead legion also disappeared. Faintly able to hear the Dragon Emperor's angry roar. Chapter 734. The Battle of the Dragon Race's Imperial City. Lin Moyu still followed his plan, launching guerrilla warfare in the dragon race. In the case that the Dragon Emperor could not find Lin Moyu's body, he could only order all the dragon race to concentrate. Only in this way can the guerrilla warfare of Lin Moyu be contained. In addition, with its wisdom, it really cannot think of other good ways. The dragon race's movements are very fast, there are teleportation arrays between the cities, they quickly converge towards the dragon race's central imperial city. Fortunately, the imperial city is enough, even if it accommodates all the dragon race, there is no big problem. If it is really not well accommodated, the encampments can still be built outside the imperial city. Lin Moyu came to the outside of a city, with a look of doubt. The formation is still running, but the city has been empty. Lin Moyu's eyes flickered slightly, and he had already guessed the dragon race's approach. Not very clever, but it is a very practical approach. Should all have gone to the imperial city. Once the dragon race concentrated, Lin Moy knew that his guerrilla tactics would fail. 340, he wanted to rely on the dragon race's upgrade path, but it was cut off. He checked his experience, already at level 81 with 95% experience, just 5% more to level up. Thinking about it, he felt a little unwilling. Still 5% short, I'll get it from the imperial city. Let's fight one last battle and see if I can kill a few more dragon kings. The creation staff was just a little short of being fully repaired, which was another reason Lin Moy didn't want to give up, besides leveling up. Lin Moy flew towards the center of the dragon race's world, where the dragon race's imperial city was located, and the dragon emperor's palace was there as well. The power of faith continued to come, constantly gathering into a warm current. The level of his soul was slowly increasing, the speed was slow, but it was very stable. That feeling was just like the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, very solid. Besides the improvement of the soul, no other use of the power of faith has been discovered yet. Since it is one of the fundamental forces of the human race, it should have more than just this little use. Lin Moy knew that the human race that Antares spoke of was the human race of the Great World. In the Great World, the human race was also a large race, not inferior to the demon dragon race. Since the power of faith can become one of the fundamental forces of a race, it must have its extraordinary aspects. While Lin Moy was flying, the human race world had already exploded. The dragon race's city is empty. Where did the dragon race go? God General Lin seems to know the direction the dragon race went. I know, the dragon race must be afraid of God General Lin's tactics, the dragon race must have gathered together and dare not disperse again. Haha, God General Lin alone can force the dragon race to this point, God General Lin is awesome. Heavens, look quickly, so many dragon races. What a magnificent city, the huge dragon statue in the center of the city, is at least several thousand meters high, right? This should be the dragon race's imperial city. In the picture, a terrifying scene appeared. Tens of millions of dragon races gathered in a city. Inside and outside the city, above and below the sky, were all dragon races. Millions of dragon races surrounded the entire city. They were building outposts outside the city, obviously preparing to garrison here for a long time. As long as Lin Moy didn't die, as long as Lin Moy was still around, they wouldn't dare to go back. Going back would mean being defeated one by one. Lin Moy came outside the dragon race's imperial city, restrained his aura, and hid in a place dozens of kilometers away. The dragon race's imperial city has stood in the dragon race's world for over 1,000 years. This is an incomparably magnificent city. Inside are incredibly exquisite buildings. A giant dragon statue at least 3,000 meters high stands in the center of the city. The statue's appearance is somewhat similar to the Dragon Emperor. No, it's not like, it is the Dragon Emperor. Lin Moy couldn't help but sneer in his heart, quite narcissistic. Lin Moy observed the dragon race's imperial city from afar. There was no formation in the imperial city, not knowing if it was not activated, or if there simply wasn't one. Lin Moy didn't even see a magic crystal. Probably too confident. But thinking about it, that's also true, if people have already been beaten to the imperial city, then what use is a mere defensive formation? Now it's like this, the dragon race has already been forced to this point, the formation, besides being able to delay for a while, has no other use at all. Lin Moy maintained a distance of dozens of kilometers, hiding in the dark, and checked the situation around the imperial city. After several confrontations, he had obtained a lot of information about the formation through the Undead Legion. Many times, he secretly dispersed the Undead Legion. He deliberately arranged for many Undead Legions to stay away from the battle group, thereby measuring the range that this formation could cover. After one test after another, Lin Moy had analyzed that the range that this formation could cover was exactly 100 kilometers. Lin Moi saw the Dragon Emperor in the Imperial City. The Dragon Emperor was in the center of the Imperial City. On the central giant dragon statue was an exquisite throne, and the Dragon Emperor was sitting on the throne. Taking the Dragon Emperor as the center, as long as one left its 50-kilometer range, one could avoid the formation. And the diameter of the Imperial City itself exceeded 40 kilometers. Besides covering the Imperial City, the formation could only affect an area of 10 kilometers outside the city. Lin Moi began to calculate and plan in his mind how to attack. Antares announced the projection of the dragon race's Imperial City to the world. All the human races saw this scene and sweated for Lin Moi. 0. God General Lin won't be in danger, right? There are tens of millions of dragon races here. More than that, did you see that one in the sky? That's the Dragon Emperor, right? Looks a bit scary. There are also many dragon kings next to the Dragon Emperor. The dragon race has more dragon kings than our god-level powerhouses. God General Lin must be careful. God General Lin, if it really doesn't work, retreat, it's already embarrassing enough for the dragon race. Yes, you've done enough. You're not alone, we're here, we can fight the dragon race together with you. Countless people silently prayed for Lin Moi, and some were full of fighting spirit, wanting to fight the dragon race alongside Lin Moi. The human race's faith was ignited again, the human race's spirit was not lost, fearless of bloody battles. Lin Moi circled twice and had a rough strategy in his mind. He began to retreat, retreating hundreds of kilometers, completely disappearing from the sight of the dragon race in the Imperial City. Then the undead army appeared. Following his will, the undead army all dispersed, forming a large circle with a diameter of 200 kilometers surrounding the Imperial City. And Lin Moi himself always hid in a place hundreds of kilometers away, controlling the battle through the sight of the undead army. Since completing the third class change at level 70, his control distance limit for the undead army no longer existed. Perhaps there was still a limit, but at least so far, he had not discovered the limit. Even if separated by hundreds of kilometers, he could control it freely. There was an invisible connection between the two sides, which was difficult to block whether it was a law or a formation. Just like the undead army was trapped by the formation was full of laws. Lin Moi only needed a thought to take the undead army back, without any difficulty. The undead army was all in place. Lin Moi took a deep breath. 1. 9. The power of the soul slowly flowed. This was a great battle that only belonged to the undead army. He was the commander hiding behind the scenes. The undead army moved. 400 skeletal dragons swooped down from the sky. Headless knights followed closely and rushed over, followed by the skeleton army. Several elemental liches also followed in the team, adding auras to the team and increasing the damage. The elemental lich's aura had a general effect against the dragon race's generals, but it was very effective against some dragon races below level 70. Lin Moi divided the undead army surrounding the Imperial City into 10 groups, all with an average distribution of numbers. Each group had about 30,000. The first to attack were the 4 troops on the east and south sides of the Imperial City. The alarm sounded throughout the sky, and all the dragon race's attention was focused on the undead army. They actually dared to come. The Dragon Emperor suddenly sat up from the throne, his killing intent rising. In an instant, the wind and clouds surged in the sky, and a huge phantom of a divine dragon emerged. Chapter 735, The Undying Undead Army. Before the Dragon Emperor even made a move, merely igniting his bloodline and forming a divine dragon phantom had already caused a huge commotion. The entire human world was silent at this moment, everyone watching this scene in stunned silence. The divine dragon phantom looked incomparably powerful, making people feel so insignificant. Not to mention ordinary people, even high-level god-ranked powerhouses like Meng Anwen felt a tremor in their hearts when they saw the divine dragon phantom. They felt it even more deeply than ordinary people, experiencing a sense of oppression when they saw the divine dragon phantom. This was a difference on the soul level. A half-step transcendent begins to control the laws, absorbing the laws, and is much stronger than a high-level god. The difference of one level is the difference between heaven and earth. Xiao Yu, be careful. Meng Anwen also sweated for Lin Mo Yu. The situation now was different from that in the abyss. Back then, he was only facing the Dragon Emperor, but now there were so many dragons. Although the undead army was powerful, it was too small in the face of millions of dragon warriors. The undead army rushing towards the Imperial Dragon looked more like a suicide squad. The Dragon Emperor let out a roar, and the dragons immediately moved. At least 1,000,000 dragons were in action. They might not be high level, not as good as the level 81 undead army. Even dragon generals of the same level were no match for the skeletal dragons that were infinitely close to the divine level. But there were too many dragons. The dragons devoured the undead army like a storm. This time, Lin Moyu was at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. This was also a situation that Lin Moyu had expected, and it was all within his calculations, so there were no surprises. What's the use of having a large number? The key is to not be afraid of death. No one understood that the most terrifying thing about the undead army was that they had no fear, no pain, and were not afraid of death. They would not collapse even if they fought to the last man. Unlike the dragons, once the casualties were too great, they would definitely collapse. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth raised slightly, and his eyes were filled with a cold smile. Come on, let you taste the terror of the undead army. No one noticed that the undead army was not fast. As a result, the dragon's battle line was stretched. Millions of dragons left the imperial city, pouring in from all directions, like opening their mouths wide to devour the undead army. Before the two sides even made contact, various auras took effect first. Many dragons inexplicably burst into flames, lightning roared, and bolts of lightning fell from the sky. Layers of ice formed on the dragons' bodies, and their speed suddenly slowed down. The power of the auras was not great. The level of the props Lin Moyu used to summon elemental liches was too low. But it could still play a significant role in dealing with low-level dragons. The skeletal dragons simultaneously spewed out violent dragon breath, instantly burning a large number of dragon generals to death. The skeletal archmages and skeletal sharpshooters acted at the same time, elements exploded like fireworks, and soul attacks silently killed souls. As soon as they made contact, the dragons suffered heavy casualties. The dragon race's professionals also went mad and took action. Under the full connection talent, the damage of the undead army would be shared by all members. In the attack, all the undead army suffered average damage. Those skeletons and skeletal dragons that were hidden and did not act were also taking damage. The lich generals continued to heal, and the undead army showed unimaginable resistance to blows. The deaths of the dragons were constantly rising, but none of the undead army died. Corpses rained down, and the ground was covered with corpses, which in a blink of an eye had piled up like mountains. The Dragon Emperor did not expect that the combat power of the undead army would be so strong. It had never dealt with the undead army head-on, and it had always been Lin Moyu himself who had fought with it. It had never taken the undead army seriously. Now that it had made contact, it realized that the power of the undead army seemed to exceed its imagination. The Dragon Emperor held the array bead in his hand, looking like he was about to take action. But he did not move, and after thinking about it, he stopped. It issued an order, and a high-level Dragon King beside it responded and rushed towards the battle group. A high-level Dragon King was enough to deal with the undead army. Before finding Lin Moyu, it could not take action. The high-level Dragon King was very fast, carrying the laws with him. In a blink of an eye, he had joined the battle group. His whole body was covered in flames, and he had obviously comprehended the law of fire element. The fire waves rolled in, devouring a large number of the undead army. The undead army suffered casualties for the first time. Its attack exceeded the upper limit that the skeletons could withstand, and the full rebirth talent failed. The dead skeletons were instantly reborn in the summoning space. It was still too difficult to deal with high-level dragons with the undead army alone, and there was basically no chance. But it didn't matter, it was just a death, and it would not cause any damage to the undead army. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the undead army immediately dispersed, avoiding the high-level Dragon King. Especially the skeletal dragons, they sprayed dragon breath at the dragon warriors, spraying wherever there were many people. The undead army was the same, avoiding the high-level Dragon King and targeting the weak dragon warriors. The high-level Dragon King constantly waved flames, annihilating the undead army. After a few minutes, 4 undead armies with a total of about 120,000 were finally wiped out. Even with the high-level Dragon King taking action, tens of thousands of dragons still died. The Dragon Emperor's gaze looked towards the southeast. He guessed that Lin Moyu might be hiding there. After all, the undead army came from there. As soon as the thought arose, the undead army appeared in the northwest at the same time. The number and scale were exactly the same as before, rushing straight towards the imperial city. This time, the Dragon Emperor dispelled the idea of finding Lin Moyu. He knew that Lin Moyu must have hidden himself and could not be easily found by himself. Since he could not find Lin Moyu, then he would destroy the undead army first. With an order, the dragon army once again greeted them. He still could not take action, and before determining Lin Moyu's location, he was not convenient to take action. The range of the array was limited and could not cover the entire area. Once it took action, there would definitely be a missing piece, and that would become Lin Moyu's attack point. Moreover, it was the Dragon Emperor, how could it condescend to personally deal with these weak cannon fodder? It also wanted face, okay. What Lin Moyu wanted was this effect. Another high-level Dragon King flew out and rushed towards the battlefield. 560. There were indeed many Dragon Kings in the dragon race, but there were only 4 high-level Dragon Kings, the same number as high-level demons. 2 of them had been destroyed by Lin Moyu before, and now there were 2 left. The previous high-level Dragon King returned to the city and was preparing to rest. The undead army appeared again in the east and south. The quantity and scale are exactly the same as before. Seeing this, the Dragon Emperor's eyes narrowed sharply, and he said in a deep voice, "You go." The high-level Dragon King, who had just returned, responded and went out. The battle lines were simultaneously deployed in all directions around the Emperor. The Undead Legion still ignored the high-level Dragon Kings, only attacking the Dragon Clan with deadly force. The high-level Dragon Kings were indeed very strong, wielding the laws to kill the undead as easily as drinking water. But after all, there was only one, and the Undead Legion was scattered, so it would take time to kill them all. During this time, the Undead Legion was enough to cause considerable damage to the Dragon Clan warriors. Lin Moyu re-summoned the newly resurrected undead, allowing them to rush to their original positions, waiting for the next wave of attacks. The battle was under his control, and the Undead Legion could launch attacks from various directions. Moreover, the frequency of death was not fast, and it was enough to rely on the passive skill of Undying Undead. The skill allows the Undead Legion to die 3 times within 5 minutes. The 5-minute skill will be reset, and there will be 3 more times. According to the current frequency of death, the Undead Legion is almost immortal. The Undead Legion was killed round after round, but appeared again and again, as if they could not be killed. The Dragon Emperor frowned, why can't these undead monsters be killed? Chapter 736. The Dragon Emperor is driven crazy by Lin Moyu. Antares chuckled secretly, mixed blood dragons are mixed blood dragons, they can't even figure this out. You can't imagine how perverted this stinky brat's skills are. The rhythm of the entire battle is completely under control, just wait to be slowly worn down. Antares watched the entire battle, and he knew Lin Moyu's skills well. According to the current battle rhythm, even if they fight for another year and a half, the Undead Legion will not suffer any casualties. Lin Moyu is using the time difference, using the resurrection characteristics of the skills, and fighting separately in batches. Firmly grasp the rhythm of the battle, so that the Undead Legion has no casualties at all. On the other hand, on the Dragon Clan's side, after several battles, the number of Dragon Clan deaths has exceeded 100,000. A large number of Dragon Clan deaths have been converted into massive experience. Lin Moyu's body is rising with white light, and he officially enters level 82. The power of the soul has increased again significantly. I can move the skill star core again. I'm going to make a fool of myself again. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, he knew that he would have 2 more star-level skill star cores. The skill star core will become a star, and ordinary skills will be transformed into star-level spells. Although it cannot carry laws, it is much stronger than ordinary skills. And Lin Moyu is looking forward to whether he can form multi-star spells. As long as it can reach 5-star spells, even if it cannot carry laws, the spells will become very powerful. The more this battle is fought, the more the Dragon Emperor feels that something is wrong. The Dragon Clan's casualties are getting bigger and bigger, no matter how it arranges it, even if the Dragon Clan does not attack, only let the high-level Dragon Kings do it. It's useless. These undead will cross over the Dragon Kings and rush over desperately. The Dragon Emperor couldn't help but want to take action several times. Once the formation is activated, then only it can move in the formation. The Undead Legion in the formation must be solved by it personally. This does not seem to be a good way. But if it does not take action, the Dragon Clan's casualties will become increasingly large. Now more than one high-level Dragon King has taken action, and several other Dragon Kings have also taken action. But it still cannot completely prevent the Undead Legion from attacking ordinary Dragon Clan. The Undead Legion is like a wave after wave, continuously. It can't go on like this. Backquote. We must find Lin Moyu. The Dragon Emperor thought in his heart, issued an order, all the Dragon Kings take action against the Undead Legion, as much as possible to reduce the casualties of ordinary Dragon Clan. It flew out like lightning, looking for Lin Moyu's whereabouts. He knew that Lin Moyu would not be too far away, and must be nearby. As soon as the Dragon Emperor moved, the smile on Lin Moyu's lips grew stronger. Finally willing to move, the Dragon Emperor did not find the right direction at first, but it saw several skeletons on the way. Seeing the skeletons, the Dragon Emperor suddenly understood. So that's how it is. It knew why the Undead Legion would come from all directions. It was all Lin Moyu's intention. He deliberately let the Undead Legion rush to the designated location before launching an attack. In order to cover up his position, the Dragon King felt that he had grasped Lin Moyu's plan, and went in the opposite direction along the direction the skeletons were advancing. It felt that Lin Moyu should be there would be no mistake. But the result was still empty. At this time, above the Imperial City, Lin Moyu suddenly revealed his figure. Two skeleton kings as high as level 93 appeared in midair. The two major spells of Strong Soldiers and Gathering Power were activated at the same time, and all states were pushed to the peak in an instant. Lin Moyu and the Skeleton King waved their long swords together, and at the same time launched Godslayer towards the ordinary Dragon Kings. 3 sword lights flashed, and several ordinary Dragon Kings were instantly killed. The whole process was smooth and extremely fast. As soon as the Dragon Kings died, the nearby skeletons had already taken action to retrieve the Dragon Balls. Lin Moyu pointed his finger towards the nearest high-level Dragon King. Purple Shocking Divine Lightning responded and came out. Not 1, but 3 in a row. The Purple Shocking Divine Lightning fell with a half-step Transcendent God-level attack, turning thousands of meters into a sea of thunder. The high-level Dragon King was blasted into coke in the screams, instantly killed. The wings of the undead vibrated, instantly came to the high-level Dragon King, and took away the Dragon Crystal. The skeletons had also taken out the Dragon Crystals, and Lin Moyu put the Dragon Crystals into the storage space as quickly as possible. All this only took a second. Lin Moyu's movements were extremely fast, as if he had rehearsed it countless times. Indeed, Lin Moyu had indeed simulated the entire process countless times in his mind. Just after finishing all this, the space suddenly became viscous. All action stagnated. Lin Moyu, you deserve to die. The Dragon Emperor was extremely angry, rushed over like crazy, raised his hand and swung an axe. Lin Moyu showed a sneer. There were still a large number of Dragon Clan behind him, and the Dragon Clan Imperial City. With this axe, I am afraid that tens of thousands of Dragon Clan will die, and most of the Imperial City will be destroyed. The Dragon Emperor had obviously lost his mind. Now it just wanted to kill Lin Moyu. Who could have imagined that in this moment of leaving, in a second, the Dragon Clan paid an unimaginable heavy price. The Dragon Emperor realized that he had been fooled, and was deceived by Lin Moyu. The many things Lin Moyu had done before were actually to lure himself out. But I was completely unaware and actually fell for it. In this second of leaving, its mind is now filled with only one thought: kill Lin Moyu, tear Lin Moyu into a million pieces. Lin Moyu, watching the near-crazed Dragon Emperor, subtly moved his soul and activated Antares' dragon scales. The Dragon Emperor's attack again lost its target, and the massive power of the law crashed down. There were indeed a large number of dragons behind Lin Moyu, and they were all annihilated under the power of the law. Then the giant axe smashed into the Imperial City. Large swaths of the Imperial City collapsed, turning into ruins. The Dragon Emperor's eyes bled as it stood in the air. It knew that Lin Moyu had escaped again, disappearing without a trace. Just like before, he left using a method it didn't know. The Dragon Emperor roared madly again, roaring incessantly. But no matter how loud it roared, even if it shattered the sky, it would be in vain. In the roaring, the Dragon Emperor chopped at the sky with its axe, again and again, tearing through space and smashing out dark cracks. This scene, as seen by all the humans, made them feel that the Dragon Emperor was truly insane, driven mad by Lin Moyu. The projected image also ended here, disappearing with Lin Moyu's departure. Lord Lin is too awesome. I feel like the Dragon Emperor is going crazy. This time, the dragon race has lost at least 100,000, and 5 dragon kings have died. The dragon race has really suffered heavy losses, but compared to the blood feud with our human race, it's nothing. If I had the strength of Lord Lin, I would definitely have to kill my way into the dragon race world and completely obliterate the dragon race. Jiao, not just the dragon race, but also the abyss demons, we can't let them go either. What Lin Moyu didn't expect was that Antares' live broadcast this time completely activated the morale of the human race. Among the human race, countless people took Lin Moyu as their role model and their goal. Even more people became Lin Moyu's die-hard fans. The power of belief increased again, continuously transmitting to Lin Moyu. Antares looked at Lin Moyu with a mischievous smile. Do you know that the mixed blood dragon is going crazy? Lin Moyu shook his head. It won't go crazy. If it could go crazy so easily, it wouldn't be worthy of being the Dragon Emperor. You've leveled up again, are you going to start acting up again? Antares had a strange smile, as if his hands were itching again, with a kind of eagerness to try. Lin Moyu took out the creation staff, as well as the last 5 dragon crystals he obtained. Before that, let's fix it first. One of them looked different, with laws entwined around it. It was a dragon crystal belonging to a high-level dragon king. Antares whispered, you can't fix it like that. Chapter 737. Actually, I made this thing. The creation staff shone brightly, especially the life core at the top of the staff. The light was even more dazzling. The life core continuously absorbed the dragon crystals, and the entire form became more and more complete, and the aura of law on it also became richer. Seeing that the life core was about to be repaired, Lin Moyu heard Antares' words and felt a little strange. Why do you say that? Lin Moyu asked strangely. Antares smiled. You need to know what this thing is made of. Relying on the dragon crystals of mixed blood dragons is far from enough. Lin Moyu looked at the life core, then looked at Antares with a mischievous smile. This thing has something to do with you. Otherwise, Antares looked like it was a matter of course. Lin Moyu said, then why didn't you say so earlier? You didn't ask. You clearly knew. I don't know. You definitely know. I really don't know. The two refused to give in to each other. Anyway, Antares would not admit that there was a problem with himself. Now that things have come to this, Lin Moyu no longer wanted to say any more meaningless words. Then tell me, how can I fix it? Don't worry, I'll tell you later, let it absorb it first. The life core swallowed the dragon crystals one by one. The repair continued, but the speed became slower and slower. Until the last piece, the dragon crystal belonging to the high-level dragon king, was completely absorbed. The life core seemed to have completed the repair. But Lin Moyu knew that there was still a tiny crack running through the entire life core. In proportion, the life core was almost 99% repaired, and it was only the last bit away. But it was this point that could greatly affect the life core. The aura of law emanating from the life core was also incomplete. A tiny deviation can lead to a huge error. For mythical weapons, there can be no difference. Antares chuckled. How is it? I told you it couldn't be repaired. Lin Moyu said unhappily, can you tell me now? Antares chuckled. Dragon crystals can indeed repair this thing, but the level of dragon crystals of mixed blood dragons is too low. Even if it reaches the high-level dragon king, it's useless. Unless you bring the Dragon Emperor's dragon crystal over, it can still be used. As for other dragon crystals, no matter how many there are, it's just like this, it can be repaired, but it can't be completely repaired. Lin Moyu interrupted Antares' nagging. Get to the point. Antares snorted. You guy, why don't you have any patience? Actually, it's very simple, because this thing is made of a dragon scale of mine. Lin Moyu widened his eyes. Made of your dragon scale? Is there a problem? With my level, using a dragon scale to make a mythical weapon is an overkill. If it wasn't for... Antares stopped talking here. It didn't want to mention many things from back then. Maybe there were some secrets it didn't want to say. As Antares spoke, it spat out a breath that landed on the creation staff, and the creation staff suddenly burst out with a light that was several times brighter than before. In the light, there was a faint sound of dragon roars, but it was very weak, and you couldn't hear it at all if you didn't listen carefully. Lin Moyu felt that Antares seemed to be hiding something, so he deliberately erased his aura. This also led to Lin Moyu not being able to think of anything related to Antares at the beginning. After all, when the creation staff appeared, the dragon race had not yet descended, and it shouldn't have had much to do with the dragon race. At that time, Lin Moyu just felt a little strange, but he didn't think about it carefully. Now I know that it turned out to be related to Antares. In Antares's dragon breath, the last trace of cracks in the life core was finally filled. The creation staff was completely restored, and this mythical weapon that once belonged to the god of life was reborn. The strong white light with the aura of law shot straight into the sky. Lin Moyu could feel its power. Mythical weapons are weapons belonging to high-level gods or high-level deities, and they themselves possess powerful power. Although it is said that mythical weapons can be used above level 90, but if you want to truly exert the power of mythical weapons, you still need to reach level 96, at least you can drive the law. The detection technique flew out, and Lin Moyu checked the attributes of the creation staff. Creation staff. Mythical weapon exclusive to the god of life, all attributes plus 50000, skills, light of life and death, rebirth. Light of life and death, can heal or attack the target. Rebirth, can reshape the body of the gods and heal the soul. After the repair, the attributes have been improved. The skills have also changed, with the light of life and the light of destruction merging into the light of creation and destruction. Whether it is life or death, salvation or slaughter, it all depends on the user's will. Moreover, there is an additional resurrection skill. This skill gave Lin Moyu hope. It seems that those gods who were seriously injured and sleeping in the war all had hope. Antares promptly poured cold water on Lin Moyu. Don't think too beautifully, this is a skill that can only be used by becoming the god of life. The gods are either dead or asleep now. Even if a god obtains the scepter of creation, it is almost impossible to become the god of life without a century or two. Unless there is the help of the world's will, this time can be further shortened. But now the world's will is asleep itself. Lin Moyu said, that's still better than having no hope at all. At least now Lin Moyu sees hope, which is much better than the darkness before. Why does the scepter of creation made of dragon scales have the law of life? Lin Moyu felt the aura of the law emanating from the scepter of creation. He was quite familiar with this aura of law, he had even felt it truly before, and almost possessed it. Antares said with disdain, what level am I? Is it okay to understand a little bit of the law of life? Otherwise, how do you think Zhang Yi was resurrected? Lin Moyu accepted this statement. Antares' level was indeed beyond his comprehension. After feeling the aura of the law for a while, he put away the scepter of creation. Now it's time to do business. Lin Moyu sat cross-legged, his soul power rolling, and plunged into the skill space. Antares' eyes also became excited, and he began to sharpen his knife. In the human world, after the live broadcast screen disappeared, new orders were quickly transmitted from the power center. The Divine Summer Empire quickly entered a state of martial law in preparation for war upon receiving the order. They had to guard against the Dragon Clan's attack. Lin Moyu's actions not only caused serious damage to the Dragon Clan, but also slapped the Dragon Clan heavily in the face. It was not impossible for the Dragon Clan to launch an attack on the human clan out of anger. In the meta battlefield, the atmosphere in each castle became tense. The demon watching eyes kept rotating, observing the entire meta battlefield. With the demon watching eyes present, it was almost impossible for the Dragon Clan to launch a sneak attack. During this period, Lin Moyu's deeds had been widely spread. Not only in the Divine Summer Empire, but also in other countries. In the entire human world, Lin Moyu had become the #1 idol, without exception. Everyone took Lin Moyu as an example. Everyone hoped that they could become the second Lin Moyu. At the same time, the Dragon Clan's actions 1,000 years ago were also written into textbooks and became well known. The human clan also realized that they had such a tragic and tearful history. Everyone became more motivated and worked hard. Chapter 738. She is very ambitious and unwilling to be a pawn. Level 82, soul power increased significantly again. Lin Moyu entered the skill space and had that feeling of having energy to spare again. Lin Moyu knew that he could move 2 more skill star cores out this time. Currently, there are 19 skill star cores left in the skill space. As the level increases, the soul power added with each level will become stronger and stronger. In addition, the continuous improvement of the soul level means that the same amount of soul power can exert more and more power. Lin Moyu is confident that before level 90, he will move all these skill star cores out, leaving none behind. It would be even better if it could be done earlier. After moving all the skill star cores, he will go to the most mysterious talent world. The 3 major talents are more important than the skill star cores, and Lin Moyu must not let them go. Once he reaches the god level, the gate to the talent world will become smaller, and it will become increasingly difficult to get the talents out and integrate them into the soul. So all of this must be completed before level 90. Level 90 is called the god level, which can be said to be the real first transformation. All previous work was to lay the foundation for the first transformation. The more solid the foundation, the higher one can go in the future. How can a tall building be built without a solid foundation? Lin Moyu knows this well, so he doesn't dare to relax even a step. The first skill star core was successfully moved out and sent to the soul world. The soul power rushed in desperately, and the soul body quickly became empty. This feeling is not good, but Lin Moyu is already used to it. He didn't care at all. When the first round of soul power was exhausted, Lin Moyu uttered the words that Antares had been waiting for a long time. "I'm going to do it," Antares said with a smile. Lin Moyu glared at him. "You say it as if you haven't done it before." Antares laughed. "I'm just wondering what method to use to kill you this time." "Anything is fine, please hurry up, you soft-footed dragon," Lin Moyu said unhappily. "I told you not to call me a soft-footed dragon, this time I decided to kill you with the law." Antares, menacingly, sprayed out a hot breath. The hot breath contained the fiery fire element law, possessing super god level damage. The fire element law surrounded Lin Moyu, turning into a raging flame, and the undead army instantly collapsed. Under the scorching of the fire element law, the undead army died twice in a row. The flames disappeared, and then a strong wind blew. The law of wind blew into Lin Moyu's body, and then exploded in his body. Antares controlled it very accurately. After 2 law attacks, he just activated Lin Moyu's all-round new life talent. Accompanied by purple light, Lin Moyu injected soul power into the skill star core for the second round. Antares asked, "Are you still planning to go to the Dragon Clan?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "I'm not going, the effect won't be too good if I go again, let's leave it like this for now." "Then what are you going to do next?" Lin Moyu thought for a while. "I plan to go to the Abyss Demons. I've been to the Dragon Clan, so I can't let the Abyss Demons go." Antares was a little puzzled. "Don't you have a cooperation with Lillian?" Lin Moyu explained, "The cooperation is only with her personally, it has nothing to do with the Abyss Demons. And she is going to sacrifice the demon race, so she won't mind if I kill a few. Maybe, she even hopes that I can kill some demons. Perhaps she will come out to stop me like the Dragon Emperor, but that's just acting." Lin Moyu said very confidently. Although he hasn't had much contact with Lillian, he can already analyze some of Lillian's style of doing things. Lillian has no feelings for demons, at least not the same feelings that I have for humans. Lillian has half human blood, she cares about it very much, and also hates it. But she grew up in the world of abyss demons, and the demon blood gave her great power. So Lillian's emotions are very complicated. At the same time, Lillian is also a very ambitious person. She is not willing to become someone else's pawn, and she wants to find ways to jump out. In order to cooperate with herself, in order to get rid of the fate of being a pawn, she can sacrifice the abyss demons, sacrifice the entire fragment world. The purpose is to completely get rid of the control of the abyss demon race and become a free body. Lin Moyu whispered, "Lillian, this is a person with a big picture and great ambition. If she can get rid of control, her future achievements will not be too low." Perhaps it was because he had been in contact with Antares for a long time. At this moment, he had a kind of superior mentality. In the abyss, Demon Emperor Lillian also received the news that Lin Moyu had made a big fuss in the Dragon Clan. After getting the specific information, she couldn't help but show a smile. Leaning lazily on the Demon Emperor's throne, she drank a cup of dragon blood wine, letting the bright red blood drip down the corner of her mouth. "You're growing so fast, you really haven't disappointed this emperor. The stronger you are, the more likely my plan is to succeed. I can understand your thoughts. After killing the dragons, you should come to our abyss, right? Should I send some heads over? What do you think, little Nana?" Her gaze looked down. The succubus queen was kneeling on the ground, trembling. Zero seeking fresh flowers. Facing the demon emperor, the succubus queen couldn't muster a trace of resistance. Millennia of accumulated power were too strong, the succubus queen didn't even dare to answer. The succubus queen's real name was Lena. After becoming a demon queen, not many dared to call her by her given name. The only one who dared to call her little Nana was the demon emperor in front of her. The succubus queen didn't know what the demon emperor was trying to express, and she didn't dare to speak. The sound of a stone falling to the ground echoed in the palace, and an exquisite magic stone rolled to the succubus queen's feet. This magic stone was very exquisite, of a high grade, and faintly exuded the aura of the law. This was a top-quality magic stone, the most top-notch kind, a good thing that only the demon emperor was qualified to possess. The succubus queen knew that all her possessions combined couldn't compare to the small magic stone in front of her. But the succubus queen couldn't guess why the demon emperor would throw this top-quality magic stone to her. 0. But it was certainly not a simple matter. I want to know, how is your loyalty to me? The demon emperor's voice sounded, landing in the succubus queen's ears like a thunderclap. Without thinking, the succubus queen replied directly, "This subordinate is absolutely loyal to your majesty." There were no exaggerated adjectives, nor did she try to flatter. A sentence of absolute loyalty was enough. The succubus queen roughly knew the demon emperor's character, she didn't like flattery, and preferred to speak directly. The demon emperor chuckled, her voice slightly cold, "Now I'll give you a chance to live. Make a demon blood oath, vowing to be loyal to me." The succubus queen exclaimed, "Did this subordinate do something wrong? Demon blood oaths can't be made casually, once made, they must be fulfilled. If you can't do it, turning to ashes is basically a certainty." The demon emperor's voice echoed faintly in the palace, "You have no choice, either choose to swear allegiance to me, or die here." Overbearing, unreasonable overbearing. Either swear an oath and become the demon emperor's slave, or die here. Between becoming a slave and death, the succubus queen didn't hesitate much. A powerful aura rose from her body, and then a layer of essence blood flew out of her body, forming a cloud of blood. Facing the blood cloud, the succubus queen swore loudly, "I swear a blood oath, from now on I will be the demon emperor's most loyal." Before the oath was finished, the demon emperor interrupted her again, "Not the demon emperor, it's me. You can call me by my real name, Lillian. You're Hurley." Lillian was just a name, a demon's full name was very long. The succubus didn't dare to resist, and honestly swore again a few times. Chapter 739 New Spell, Manifestation of Undying Law. The succubus queen couldn't understand why she had to go through the extra step since she was already loyal to the demon emperor. Although she was unwilling, she had to do it to save her life. As the oath was completed, the essence blood that flew out of her body had already boiled. At this time, a part of the essence blood flew towards the demon emperor Lillian, and the essence blood also carried a part of the succubus queen's soul. Lillian accepted this essence blood without ceremony, and the succubus queen trembled, feeling as if something had been added to her soul. It should be a pair of hands that pinched her soul. As long as she moved slightly, this hand could crush her soul at any time, so she would have nowhere to bury her body. Eternal and eternal cannot betray. A layer of fine sweat floated on the succubus queen's body, somewhat horrified. Fortunately, she had no intention of betraying. She didn't have it before, and she won't have it in the future. The demon emperor Lillian smiled, "Congratulations, you can survive the upcoming tide." The succubus queen looked up, showing a look of surprise. The upcoming tide, is something going to happen? Then her gaze became extremely shocked, and the demon emperor's body changed. The previous demon emperor seemed to be always shrouded in clouds, and no one could see her true form. But now, the clouds cleared and the fog dissipated, and the succubus queen saw the demon emperor's true face. Human. The demon emperor's true face was actually human. The succubus queen collapsed to the ground, trembling all over. The demon emperor Lillian smiled a little brightly at this time, and a little coldly. The dark green abyss fire was burning fiercely, and the demon emperor's palace became even colder. The laws roared, and after the fire element law and the storm law, Lin Mo received the baptism of the water law and the lightning law. After that, there were the light law and the dark law. Lin Mo was a little speechless. How could Antares know all the laws? Antares bragged a little, "I am a peerless genius, is there anything I don't know?" This was extremely shameless. Lin Mo immediately retorted, "Do you know the law of time?" Antares was speechless on the spot. In the end, Antares explained the reason to Lin Mo. There is a principle in the great world, called, "One law leads to all laws." As long as you reach a certain level, you can easily handle some low-level things. Antares really knew many laws, but only superficially. Such as several elemental laws, Antares could only allow them to exert the attack power of the super god level at most. This was still because its own level was high enough to do it. The same was true for the law of life. Antares also understood some superficial knowledge. Just some superficial knowledge was enough for it to walk sideways in this world. It could even use this superficial knowledge to create a myth-level weapon like the Staff of Creation. Antares did take action in the great battle that year. Although it was all secretly, if it weren't for it, the whole world might have fallen. In Lin Mo's soul world, Antares stared at the skill star core that had reached its limit. Another star was about to appear. Another star was about to explode. When it exploded, a mysterious little black spot would appear, which had a fatal attraction to Antares. In the soul world, there were already 3 stars shining brightly, and the 4th was about to appear. Section 1000. Antares, thinking about the upcoming 18 stars that would appear and illuminate the soul world together, couldn't help but curse it as being perverted. In its understanding, no one had ever possessed so many star-level spells. It had never even heard of such a thing. Boom! The star exploded. In the dazzling light, the small black dot appeared as promised. Its appearance lasted only half a second, but Antares infinitely prolonged that half second. Lin Moyu also tried his best to look at the black dot, but still couldn't see anything. This was the 3rd observation, and Lin Moyu had firmly remembered its aura. Each time, the star would appear, and the small black dot was exactly the same, without any changes. It didn't matter if he didn't understand it now, he would remember it, and when the time came to understand, he would naturally understand. Antares watched with great interest. So did Lin Moyu. When the skill star core exploded and transformed into a star, the large amount of soul power absorbed earlier was all fed back. First, it was absorbed by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, and after being refined, it was sprayed out again. The soul level was elevated accordingly, and the soul space also became a bit larger. The soul, which had already reached the peak of level 93, took another step forward and officially entered the level 94 realm. The soul became more pure and powerful. For Lin Moyu, raising his soul by 1 level would increase his combat power by a large margin. Undead Gaze Fusion Degree 100% summons the Eye of the Undead from the undead world, dealing soul damage to the target. The damage is determined by the soul's strength. The change didn't seem significant. The damage was no longer determined by the skill level, but purely by the soul's strength. The stronger Lin Moyu's soul, the greater the damage. The power was definitely enhanced, there was no doubt about that, but how much it was enhanced could only be known after trying it. However, the law, 0. That bad feeling appeared again, and the Great World Rune was once again affecting Lin Moyu. The curse of not being able to bear the law still existed. Lin Moyu didn't feel much about this, as it was already expected. It was just that this star seemed a bit different. The light emitted by the star was slightly different, slightly dim. Within the dimness, there was also some silvery light, unlike the colors of other stars. Within the light, Lin Moyu also felt a magical aura, like some kind of law. This is the law of undead. Lin Moyu thought of when he used the twin star spell to attack Antares. Antares had said that the attack contained a trace of law, which Lin Moyu named the law of undead. The curse of the Great World Rune could prevent his star-level spells from bearing laws, but it couldn't suppress the laws inherent in the spells themselves. Antares also told Lin Moyu to focus on understanding the law of undead, and treat other things as secondary. Now, within the star of undead gaze, the aura of the law of undead was automatically emitted. Lin Moyu couldn't be completely sure if he had sensed it wrong. Antares woke up at this moment, and as soon as it woke up, it stared at the star, muttering, "Your spell is very strong." Lin Moyu asked, "Is this law the same as the law of undead you sensed before?" Antares nodded, "Yes, it is the law of undead. This is a law I've never heard of before. It should be a unique law of your profession," Antares said in a deep voice. Apart from some elemental laws in the 3rd echelon, many laws were ethereal and extremely difficult to comprehend. But now the law of undead was right in front of him, constantly releasing its aura, for Lin Moyu to feel and reference. It could be imagined that Lin Moyu's understanding of the law of undead would greatly improve afterward. Antares had never doubted Lin Moyu's talent. Even if he didn't improve 1,000 miles a day, he would still improve dozens or hundreds of miles a day. Antares said, let's test the power. There's no need to find monsters to test it, just use me as a test. Without saying a word, Lin Moyu pointed his finger towards the sky. The sky suddenly darkened, and the projection of the undead world descended with a bang. Antares' dragon eyes suddenly constricted. It had seen the projection of the undead world before, but it wasn't as real as it was now. It was as if it wasn't an illusion, but there really was such a world. Without the gate of the undead, a huge eye directly appeared in the sky. The eye had a diameter of over 100 kilometers, a full 10,000 meters, like a huge scroll unfolding in the sky. Chapter 740, Perverted Person with Perverted Spell. Lin Moyu, the culprit, was a little surprised to see it. He muttered, "Why is it so big? An eye of 10,000 meters covered an area of hundreds of kilometers." He didn't know the power yet, but the range was much larger than before. Seeing Lin Moyu's shocked appearance, Antares laughed loudly, "Look at you, acting like you've never seen the world. What's so surprising about this? The powerhouses in the Great World often use powerful spells that cover tens of millions of kilometers. Even covering several worlds is commonplace." Antares' words pulled Lin Moyu back from his shock. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "That's the Great World, we're in a small world here. Even super god-level spells aren't this big, right?" Antares hummed, "No, I have to admit that your spell is indeed intimidating, but I don't know how powerful it is." The eye, which was over 10,000 meters, opened, with long eyeliners on both sides, and the diameter of the eyeball in the middle was also over 3,000 meters. Lin Moyu could see that the center of the eyeball was burning with raging flames, which were silvery white undead flames. A touch of gray aura permeated the flames, which was the aura of the law of undead. The entire eye looked lifeless, like the darkest silence, filled with the aura of death. But in the deepest part of the aura of death, there seemed to be life. Undead creatures belonged to death, yet transcended death. This feeling was very strange, and couldn't be understood without personal contact. The eye of the undead followed Lin Moyu's will and looked towards Antares. Antares suddenly tensed up, as if it was being stared at by some terrifying existence. This feeling came from the soul, making Antares a little uncomfortable. As strong as it was, it actually felt threatened by the eye of the undead. How many levels was Lin Moyu now? This showed that the potential of this spell was unimaginably strong. Then, Antares felt as if its soul had been pricked by a needle. It didn't hurt much, but there was a slight feeling. Even Antares was shocked by this, and looked at Lin Moyu in shock. First, its soul felt threatened, and now its soul felt like it was being attacked. The power of the spell completely exceeded imagination. How is it? Lin Moyu could tell from Antares' eyes that the power of the spell should be good. Antares said, "Currently, it's enough to kill existences below level 96 in seconds. It can also cause some damage to level 96. The power of the spell depended on Lin Moyu's soul strength, but it clearly surpassed Lin Moyu's own soul strength. The soul level of 94 cast Eye of the Undead, but it could kill level 95 in seconds and injure level 96. It was truly a very powerful spell. Most importantly, Lin Moyu felt the law of undead from it. The law of undead was truly materialized, giving Lin Moyu a reference for learning. Every skill was strong, and it was the same after being transformed into a star-level spell. The Great World Rune stopped itself, not allowing its spells to bear the law. But the spells themselves gave birth to laws, which, from a certain perspective, once again surpassed the suppression of the Great World Runes. Lin Moyu was now full of confidence, and with a smile, he said, "I'll go move another one." The gloom brought about by the Great World Rune curse was swept away at this moment, and Lin Moyu was full of anticipation for his skills. Not only was he like this, but Antares was also like this. At this moment, the eye of the undead in the sky had not disappeared, and without Lin Moyu's command, it did not launch another attack. Antares looked at the huge eye, feeling the undead laws within it. This law seems a bit strong. Death, life, are all within it. But how could I have never heard of such a strong law? It's impossible. Among the myriad laws of the great world, even if I haven't seen it, I should have heard of it. It's really strange. Antares couldn't figure it out, and its dragon head ached from thinking, so it simply stopped thinking. It also tried to comprehend the undead laws, not to control it, but to get some superficial understanding to play with. Just like the laws of life and the laws of elements. But unfortunately, Antares felt that it and the undead laws seemed incompatible. Even trying to get some superficial understanding was impossible. The principle of mastering one law leading to the mastery of all laws lost its effect at this moment. Stinky brat, strange person, strange profession, strange skills, and now even the laws are so strange. He really is a freak. Antares grumbled and re-entered Lin Moyu's soul world, waiting for Lin Moyu to move the skill star core over. Inside the Demon Emperor's palace, the succubus queen had already widened her eyes, her small mouth agape, unable to close it for a long time. The Demon Emperor actually had half human blood, and she was just cannon fodder, and the abyss here was just a fragmented world. Everything was constantly impacting her worldview. Demon Emperor Lillian looked at her. Do you know why I chose you? The succubus queen shook her head blankly. I don't know. Because you look somewhat pleasing to the eye. The succubus queen was stunned and blurted out, it's that simple. Otherwise, this emperor just thinks that when this emperor leaves here and enters the great world, perhaps I will need a subordinate. So, I'm giving you this opportunity. From what Demon Emperor Lillian had just said, the succubus queen already knew that the abyss was finished. The abyss demons in this fragmented world would all meet the fate of cannon fodder, without exception. Only the Demon Emperor could survive. The succubus queen didn't want to die either. She had lived for hundreds of years and hadn't lived enough. At the same time, she also wanted to pursue more powerful strength. Thank you, Your Majesty the Demon Emperor. The succubus queen knelt respectfully on the ground. Lillian was very satisfied with the succubus queen's attitude. Follow this emperor well, and you won't be treated unfairly in the future. The succubus queen said, Your Majesty the Demon Emperor, you said Lin Moyu will enter the abyss, so do we need to do anything? No need to do anything, but we can't do nothing either. When the time comes, cooperate and put on a show, and give him some heads. He also needs to level up now, needing 540 experience. Killing monsters and clearing dungeons, how can it be faster than killing dragons and destroying demons to level up? These cannon fodder, let's make the most of them. Let's make the most of them. What a cruel sentence this was. The Demon Emperor didn't put the lives of the demons in the abyss in her eyes at all. The succubus queen felt lucky at this moment, otherwise, she would also be made the most of. The Demon Emperor pointed a finger, and a Dragon King's roar came from outside. A touch of bright red flew from outside the palace, taking the Dragon King's blood as wine. Only the Demon Emperor could do it. Want a cup? The taste of the Dragon King's blood is all right. Faced with the Demon Emperor's invitation, the succubus queen said with a hint of apprehension, Is it okay? What's wrong with that? Amidst laughter, another cup of Dragon King's blood flew to the succubus queen's face. The Dragon King's blood swirled in the cup, reflecting the succubus queen's slightly pale pretty face, which was very enchanting. Another skill star core was moved over. Lin Moyu once again began his journey of self-abuse. This time, Antares no longer teased but earnestly completed its task. After 3 consecutive rounds of activating his talent, the skill star core was finally fed. It sparkled and began its final splendor. 5th star, I wonder what it will be this time, Lin Moyu said softly. Antares said, anyway, it's going to be a bit abnormal. What kind of person, what kind of spells, that's what I'm talking about. Lin Moyu snorted lightly, ignoring it, let it say whatever it wanted.